Welcome to Starlit Future, the space exploration adventure that is fully episodic and follows the crew of the Cosmic Trust flagship Mariposa. I am your humble space master, Ian Frost, and as a reminder, this is part 2 of a story arc called Those Who Ponder. So while our show is completely episodic, every story arc can be enjoyed completely on its own because they're contained adventures. This is part 2 of that arc. So all you need to watch going into this one is part 1 of Starlit Future, Those Who Ponder. So if you haven't watched that, go take a minute, go watch that and come back, and we'll still be here. Space will still be here. Good? Okay? Are they gone? Are they back? Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the first part. So, previously on Starlit Future, the crew of the Mariposa was en route to the unveiled galaxy with their new itinerary for the order in which they were going to explore, the people they're going to meet, with the aid of the first allies, the first friends that they made in the unveiled galaxy. Starting with an alien culture known as the Tyteans, who are a fellow electromagnetic life form, just like the Pondu, which is what our wonderful first officer, Constant Thoughtful Actions, is.
That's me. I'm a bowl of water.
Indeed. And, more specifically, your electricity animating a bowl of water. So, the chance to meet...
I'm a bowl of water.
You're a bowl of water,
I'm
yeah.
a bowl of water.
But the chance to meet another electromagnetic life form is very exciting for both parties, and as such, the Tyteans specifically requested the presence of a Pondu, and in fact the specific presence of the first officer, knowing that someone in a position of power was an electromagnetic being like themselves. So, the crew got together, had a meeting, a briefing to learn a little bit about the history of these people. And it gave them a little bit of pause, because part of their history has been sort of, for lack of a better term, policing the unveiled galaxy somewhat, because they believe that it is their duty to sort of clean up the universe as a living organism. And that has led to a lot of conflicts, them involving themselves in other people's wars and such. But apparently, in the last century, they've been chilled out a little bit. They've stopped doing this for the most part and are very interested in exploring our galaxy. So, we are going to negotiate to meet with them, to learn about them, have an exchange of technology before deciding how to proceed with their exploration of our galaxy. So, the field team recruited one Ruiso,
hello,
a member of the science team, to be the person on the field team who will come in and analyze the technology aboard the flotilla, the fleet of 32 ships that these electromagnetic beings possess and animate with their electronic bodies, much like the Pondu animate their Pondu spheres that they float around in and the robot bodies that they occasionally inhabit. So, you took a shuttle and boarded the prime vessel, which is where their leader, the first of their kind, Andalok, resides. And as you stepped out, Laddie made the very interesting choice to utilize his Volkai electrophysiology, his ability to control electric currents, to walk barefoot on the ship and see if he felt anything. And what he felt was a strange connection, a euphoric surge, not a possession, but something else, something a little less quantifiable, at least with your current knowledge base. But all you do know is that for a moment, your inhibitions were completely lowered, and you surged electricity out into the ground, and a static outline of your own body seemed to fall off of you, out of you like shed skin, and splash against the ground and dissipate. Nevertheless, you followed an attendant possessing a strange chromatic robot body to a main chamber where you met with Prime Andalok, who explained to you that this strange electric surge was curious and interesting, and that they're interested in learning more about what happened. But, for the time being, Andalok has explained to you that he much desires to visit not only our galaxy, but a specific planet. He wants to visit Pondur. And so, now the conclusion. We pick up there as Andalok looks you over in this smooth, shining, chromatic 6-foot robot body with no facial features, no any features of any kind except lines for speakers on the faceplate and these alien runes that are etched in the body all along, spiraling all down its surface.
Can I roll like a brains check to see how many Titans are in the room with us? Just because I know they can occupy different transport objects and stuff. I just want to see if they're all in the little bodies or if they're popping out in other places.
Yeah, let me think for a moment here. I'm inclined to say that that is actually not really. Well, I was going to say that might be more of a resolve because
Hey, that's better for me.
you're
I'll take
trying to
that.
sort of like it's not necessarily an intellectual exercise, it's something perceptive based on very little. You're trying to sort of figure out where these people might be. So I guess there's an argument for brains, but I personally think it's a bit more of a resolve.
I could add them both together just for fun.
I'll let you choose. Do you think
Oh,
is this more of an intellectual exercise for you where you're trying to figure out logic out where they might be, or do you think it's more of it like a visual search, like you're investigating like what looks like they might be there?
that's a really interesting question. I think for Laddie, after just having the free feed kind of experience with the ship, I think he's not so in his brain and he is focused on resolve. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that.
Okay. So I'm going to say this is a DC of these guys are hard to pin down. They are completely invisible. I'm going to say this is a DC of 10.
Okay, I just rolled a dice and then it fell off the table into my hand, so I'm rolling it again. It's only a seven.
Okay.
No.
So go ahead and take a star point.
All right, we fail upwards to the stars.
To the stars.
And
At
you
Astra.
you look around and
Per
the thing is it's even harder in this particular chamber because what you've been told is that it is the prime is the most powerful of all beings, of all the Tyteans specifically. Um, you were told that they're about like 4 to 6 to a ship, and they occupy different systems to make a ship go. But the prime vessel is this massive behemoth, and only the prime Andalok is powerful enough to pilot it mostly by themselves. But you do know that there are other attendants who are like their most, prized uh, followers who have the honor of residing on this ship in different places. But looking around, you have absolutely no concept of what parts of the ship they would be occupying right now, especially in this large empty chamber. The only thing around is the hollow projectors that are projecting an image of space in the room, which maybe, I mean, something has to be operating that, but whether that's Andalok or someone else, you have no idea.
So there's 4 to 6 to a ship overall, but there's 32 ships within the flotilla.
Yes.
Okay.
Including Andalok or
Yes, including Andalok.
Okay.
You notice Andalok is watching you look around.
he doesn't like it when we think.
It's a pretty nice little ship you got here. I mean, it's not little; it's massive. But I've never been on something like this before.
It is the culmination of generations upon generations of work, hard work. Much of it, I must admit, I am not proud of. I'm sure that the symphony has already informed you of our checkered past.
Yes, we were given a briefing on your history.
What I imagine that the symphony could not have told you, for they lack the understanding, is our means of reproduction.
Reproduction.
We
Whoa.
have no means of reproduction. In your terms, perhaps the simplest way to explain would be we do not reproduce, we recycle. You see, our people do not commingle. We can occupy connected space, but even on our ships, we do not become one being. Always separate are our molecules. But here, aboard the Prime vessel, there is a unique opportunity. Myself as the first, I am the first and only of the Tyteans to have achieved any means of reproduction. Long ago, in the time before solidity, when I was simply energy wandering about the universe, a time for which my memory is fractured, my consciousness incomplete. As I passed through the galaxy, I accumulated knowledge and mass, until one day I became so immense that I split into hundreds of parts. No other Tytean, including myself, has ever been able to achieve such a feat again. However, here, on this unique vessel, those Tyteans who prove themselves, they board this vessel, become a part of it, and mingle with me in a way that they can with no other.
Out of character, this super duper feels like a cult.
It is a reshuffling of our traits. You see, I choose those who I believe will enrich my leadership, those who have new perspectives to offer. And in the past century, this recycling process has yielded an entirely new outlook. I am ashamed of our past interventionist policies. It is complicated. I believe we were doing good work, but I do not wish to bring this energy into our negotiations in your galaxy. But I understand if that brings little comfort, as we have just met. But you must also understand what we have been told of the Pondu, your means of creating more of yourselves. This interests us, for we have no true means of bolstering our numbers. We are forever bound to the same number we have always been. Or almost always been.
Commander, can I ask another question?
Of course. Go ahead.
I was just curious. I know that your first and foremost goal is to meet with the Pondu, but we're a part of a thing called the Cosmic Trust, which is just like a bunch of different people all together in a kind of union. Um, it's just curious, do you think you would be aiming to join that post entering our universe? The Pondu currently are kind of not in that, but they're, I think, on the road to getting there and pretty far down the road. So I was just curious what you would want to do within the institutions of our galaxy.
An excellent question. I had the same question on my mind as well.
I will not exclude any possibility at this juncture. That is why I was so eager to begin these negotiations. You see, most of our first contacts in the past have been somewhat violent. And this is not my desire anymore. I have simply changed too much. We all have. I want what I am given to understand, what your cosmic trust also wants, the opportunity to know others. I cannot predict whether there will be conflict, but it's certainly possible. And I cannot predict whether our people will desire to give up their freedoms to move as we wish in order to appeal to the whims of an organization we know very little about.
Rudy, uh, I think Rudy is gonna surreptitiously like play it off like it's a nervous tick, but he'll like Morse code to the ship and specifically to my good friend Veal, uh, if any like weird power fluctuations were picked up in like the past 30 minutes. Specifically when Laddie did his little electricity interchange. Let's
See.
hope that they don't know Morse code. I'm praying to God right now.
Based on Ian's face, they definitely know Morse code.
No, they don't. Shut up.
So, I would say in a matter of about 60 seconds. So while, like, if you were doing this in the background before this point, it's at this point you get back from her. No, we've run a thorough scan. There's nothing.
He'll send back cool beans XOXO. I'm so scared.
Now, Prime Vessel Andalok, I do not have the sole permission to grant you passage to visit Pondur. We will have to return to the ship, and I will have to contact all of the authorities on Pondur to make sure that this is a voyage that they also will allow. However, we were told that Lieutenant Ruiso would be given the opportunity to scan some of your equipment. Would you prefer that he does that now or later?
Interesting. I would prefer that negotiations move as swiftly as possible. It was my intention that a science officer of your choosing scan whilst aboard for this meeting. I would prefer to guide the process. In fact, you are most welcome to scan this vessel. And I should mention, though I do not hold this against you, it is our first meeting after all. The prime vessel only describes this ship. I am simply the prime.
I see. Apologies.
Well then, Prime Andalok. Simply tell me where to begin, and I will begin.
You may begin with an investigation of this vessel which I now inhabit. Would you prefer to do so while I am inside, or shall I vacate?
You have that capability to vacate the vessel?
To vacate this bipedal vessel and return to the ship at large.
I see. Let's play it by ear. So just to clarify, Andalok wants me to scan the little like robot thingy. Okay, sure. Let's get as much as possible. If you are comfortable staying within your bipedal vessel, as you so well described, I will scan it promptly.
Yes, of course. I imagine that you will find some difficulty in doing so, but you must see this for yourself.
Could Rudy assist in this with his mechanical know-how?
Yeah, what do I got to do?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're not really breaking open the mechanism of the robot.
But he could
This
see where
is-
the joints go.
If I could assist, because I am a robot and I have computer skill.
We'll
And
use
Yeah.
the power of
So-
friendship.
it's mostly that you're. Are you saying because of like mechanicalness, basically?
Yeah, he knows how
Yeah.
like things are typically put together, so
Mhm.
he could point out what's weird and different.
Because it is a bit more cybernetics than mechanics at this moment, which we've talked about the distinction before, but in this particular case, you're not cracking open the mechanism, but your knowledge can lower the DC a little bit. We can say that. So, and then what did you want to do?
I would like to assist to grant my advantage ability to Noir.
Okay.
Because I too have a robot body and am smart and have computer skill.
Yeah. I imagine this will be a brains roll.
Yes, and I think you can add your computer skill because you're looking at results on a scanner, right? You're essentially
Sure.
you're looking for readings and you are trying to get it's almost like you're running an X-ray to
Yeah.
look at the insides of this thing and see how it works, how energy is like dispersed
Yeah.
through it.
Totally gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, let's see.
And this is with advantage because Asteria is helping me.
So it's a pretty straightforward scan. You will get something at all on a 10. But on a 15 you'll really start to get to the heart of the matter.
Okay. All
I
right.
believe.
Simple and clean. It's easy.
Cool. Glad we're doing this at advantage because that was a 7. Oh, fuck. That was a 5 on my second one.
No.
Okay, so 7 for my d20. And then what do I get on the d4? Cool, that was a 1. Let me roll. Oh, sorry, that was a
Okay.
2.
Oh, I forgot about lowering the DC for Rudy. So we'll call it a 13. 13 to get like the best possible result.
Just get a 6 on the D4.
I know, right? Nope, that did not happen. I got a 9 total.
9 total.
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Dang, he was right. Andalok was right.
as you take out your scanner and you begin running it over this entire like mechanical body, what you find is that the electrical signature that is animating this being, or this vessel rather, it's actually interfering at such close range. You find that the somewhat less powerful scanning device that is the handheld version compared to the scanners on the actual ship is having trouble finding the readout of the body itself because there is just an overwhelming bioelectrical signature that is, it's not shorting out the device, but it's giving you so much static. It's like waving a Geiger counter over like a very, 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 very irradiated place, and it's just like there's so much more than I can even deal with.
It's actually only giving me 3.8 Ronkin, so
What I will
great,
give you
not terrible.
What I will give you for free is that the ships didn't have this problem scanning the ships. They did successfully scan like the readouts of what the ships were like, but here there must be some discrepancy, some difference. And as you're looking at this, go ahead and take a star point as well for the failure. What you notice is the head cocks a little bit, and there isn't laughter, but there's just like a sound, and the Andalok goes, "Now you understand. My form is significantly more complex and malleable than those of the rest of my people. The ability to inhabit such a large vessel, when I inhabit a smaller vessel, my molecules are so tightly packed, condensed into this smaller form, that they will interfere with your readings. However, observe. Forgive me, you will not be able to observe. I am going to occupy the space in the air next to, on the right-hand side, next to this vessel. I would ask you to scan the device and myself separately. Then perhaps you will understand. So, I won't make you roll for this one unless you want to try and get something like maybe extra secret. But you'll just be able to see the composition of the body without rolling it. It's up to you.
Okay, buddy, I'm here to roll dice, so let's fucking roll dice. Yeah. Same thing as before, brains and computers, or something
Yes.
different?
So it's brains and computers. This one is. I'm gonna say that it's only a DC of 5 just to see what even is like the composition of this thing. But every magnitude of 5 above 5, you have a chance of seeing something extra.
Gotcha.
Cox
All right,
eyebrow.
And no advantage this time, right?
No, I'll help. I'll help again.
Oh, okay, sure. Nope.
Oh no.
Okay, that was a 13.
Mhm.
Oh
And a
wait,
4,
you would
that
have advantage anyway because it's a science roll.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, duh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 13 on my d20, and my 4 explodes, so let me roll that again.
Excellent.
Okay, 2 degrees above.
That exploded again.
Yes! Keep going.
Excellent. Okay.
What is that,
Going?
21?
Yes.
21.
And 23. Okay.
Hell yeah.
23. Okay, so orders of magnitude above. What you get very easily is the entire readout, the composition of this metal alloy. It seems to be a specific metal. It is similar to the... What is it similar to? It's a little bit like the hardest steel that they use to build ships. You can tell that it is a foreign, alien material, but it is largely made up of one type of metal, as opposed to the multiple different sort of scrap put together composition of all of these ships, including this ship. So whatever they make their robot bodies out of, clearly it just is one source. You also note now with a more detailed readout, there definitely are no plates or anything like that. This being is entirely made in some kind of mold.
Interesting.
So nothing comes off really. In fact, there's not much circuitry or active electricity. There's nothing generating power in this thing, nor is there anything amplifying power in this thing. The robot bodies that the Pondu use do have their own sort of power source. They're not relying entirely on the Pondu to power it, because that would put too much strain on the Pondu. So robot bodies themselves have... The best way to describe it is like a Wi-Fi connection, right? A Pondu connects to existing electricity in a controlled environment via the suits, which are specially designed to then operate the suit. Here, what you see is that there are just pathways, and the actual Tyteans themselves are responsible for providing all of the power to the being. So if there is no Tytean inside the robot, it has no power at all. It can't do anything.
Gotcha.
Which speaks to the level of power that these beings have as electricity.
And you said that I also scanned Andalok outside of the vessel, right?
I think on that roll, you can... It all happens at once, right?
Okay.
What you realize is Andalok is at first, you're scanning the area where they claim to be,
Mm-hmm.
and it reads as raw electricity, but you begin to like fiddle with the tuner a little bit and adjust for the readings that you're getting. And you start figuring out that if you start treating it like reading brain waves, it makes it a little bit easier.
Hmm.
And even though they are purely electricity, there is something malleable in the atomic structure that they have.
Yeah.
What you notice at first, within the first few seconds of the scan, you see a compression. You see that there is the molecules of this being are so densely, tightly packed to be like a roughly 6-foot form.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're looking, you were told that these guys were invisible. But all of you can kind of see a somewhat staticky, shimmery outline. If you like squint your eyes, you actually do see Andalok standing there in the same sort of shape as the robot. And as you're
Mm-hmm.
scanning, once the scan goes through, you see the area where like the outline of the head is, look down at the scanner and nod, like realizing that you've seen that, and then the form scatters and dissipates, and you follow that, and you see that Andalok's body, I guess, seems to occupy the entirety of this room, this huge chamber. Their
Okay.
form in its natural state, they have to compress themselves
Gotcha.
to become visible and to go into such a small form.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're able to see just immense, detailed, like electrical impulses. Like it does almost look like you're looking at a small galaxy. But the closest thing that you can figure is it is a lot like just looking at a brain.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to looking at a Pondu.
That's what I was
Under
going to
scanner.
ask. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
The
Hmm.
only thing is, using a scanner that is detecting, electricity like this,
Yeah.
it's not really able to pick up, like, okay, but like what kind of molecules are they, right? Like what actually are these things composed of? What is the source of the electricity? Does it have a different signature than the Pondu? It's just reading as complex bioelectricity right now. You would
Sure.
need something much more, honestly, invasive to really figure out. You would need to probably work with medical to start figuring out a little bit more detail than that, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty good for 3 magnitudes above. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So I think I performed my scan. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, I was just going to say that I think I performed my scan, and then I probably like um I'll make notes basically along the lines of everything that you had said. And the thing I think what I'll say to Andalok is oh well, thank you. Uh I confess my instruments had I had underestimated your force of electromagnetic personality, let's say. Uh but I am now getting much better readings. The vessel, this robot, really, is very interesting. But what's more interesting is you, Andalok. Um, I sort of describe it in the way that you had a lot of electrical impulses, much like neurons firing in a brain. Um, and take this as you may like. Perhaps this can be heartening for you. But I do note, without performing any more invasive procedures to determine your nature, biologically speaking, what I do see currently on the surface brings a lot of evokes a lot of similarities to that of the Pondu.
I imagined and even hoped that they would. But I believe it will take much more to determine the depth of that similarity.
Mm-hmm.
I would like the opportunity to study this. I'm given to understand that, as you said, Pondur is not a part of this cosmic trust. Does this mean, therefore, that they are not subject to the decision-making structures of the cosmic trust? That it is their decision alone whether they will allow us passage to their world?
Above board, the answer is yes. Right?
Oh, the answer is absolutely yes. The
Absolutely.
cosmic trust does not need to approve that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. However, the ship that we have just come from is a part of the Cosmic Trust, so we will have to determine the logistics on going with you.
Then please, be our guests as this decision is made. You are welcome to remain aboard this vessel as long as you wish and make use of our various facilities. You will find that we must provide power to any systems that you wish to use. Our computers, they store data, but we must power them. If
Can
you
I-
wish, yeah.
Can I look, if you have a thought that you need to finish, this is going to be kind of divergent, so
Oh well, he was just gonna say that, or they were just going to say,
They got it.
oh yeah, all of the Tyteans have no concept of gender at all. It means literally nothing to them.
You mean electricity didn't come up with gendered concepts? Impossible.
Pondu
Sounds
did.
great.
We did.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Y'all are just water.
Hey, I don't know what
Is,
to tell
is
you.
the male water blue and the girl water also blue? Like, what the fuck?
So
Maybe we
I
should
know that
introduce.
they're,
Yeah, no, go.
all right, I know that their ships are cobbled together from the vessels of other people that they've destroyed. Can I get a sense of like, I grew up in my dad's shop on one of the Unala moons, and I was like taking rides out to test them out every once in a while. Can I get a sense of kind of the shape of different mechanics of different people within this galaxy? I know that's kind of a vague
Absolutely.
That's very fucking cool.
That's extremely cool.
Would this allow me to use flight?
To use flight.
Because it's about ships.
I just know how
Which-
ship
which-
feels.
which-
It's
She fly-
about
when she
ships,
flies.
but that's not.
He know how ship
Like,
move. He
this
see
is-
ship, he know how it move. He see Corvette, you know how fast Corvette
I
go.
see ride. I'd be whipping
He's-
hard.
He see a pilot's turn. He's like, this is meant for a being with like 6 arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna use my arms and legs to try to pilot it anyway.
He
Yeah.
see leather on it, he knows that it's luxury.
Rich Corinthian leather.
Cut to
I will say this is not a flight roll just because it pertains to ships,
That
but
makes-
it pertaining to ships does allow you to add your piloting skill.
Okay, that's a
Because
decent.
it's like your
that's pretty
knowledge
good.
of piloting. I think this is going to be either a brains roll, just figuring stuff out, or a just like before, a resolve roll, just using the observational data that you have. But you're looking at the scans and the readouts, which you have. You have scans of all their ships that was provided to you. So as you're like talking through and going through this tour, you're able to look through that and choose which one you'd rather use.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do resolve again, just because I mean, Laddie is smart, but I don't know if that's his top of thoughts or top of mind way to interact with the world around him.
So I'm gonna say five is gonna be just minimum DC,
Okay.
just to get like a number of how many different cultures they have. They
Annihilate.
have like, well, to be fair, you're not
Accumulated
entirely
from?
sure that that's entirely how they got all of this, but it's a guess, right? It's an
Mhm.
educated guess. But yeah, 5 will just get you like a ballpark number of how many different individual places they must have visited.
Okay.
And then any magnitude above that, you can start to piece together like idiosyncrasies of some of the different, like it. What am I trying to say? Inferences that you can make about the peoples where these different metals and such must have come from.
Okay.
Yeah. Inferences was the word I was
That-
looking for.
Mhm.
Gonna be a 6.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, with the D4 too.
Yeah. No, I don't get advantage because there's nothing to give me advantage. It's a 1 and a 5.
Damn.
Okay, so just with that, I think that makes sense in a way because there are scores, I would say. It is somewhere maybe between 50 and 60 different types of metals and design choices that you would think to attribute to a different location.
Mhm.
Now, you don't really have the frame of reference entirely to say like, well, maybe it's just two different kinds of metals that came from the same world or something. But for the most part, adjusting for that, you think pretty confidently somewhere between 50 and 60 is like your margin for error. But the thing is, because there are so many,
Mhm.
um, it is kind of impossible for you in a short amount of time to start making inferences about them because it means that they're integrated so well and like interlocked to create new devices that trying to make inferences about any of these cultures is like nearly impossible right now.
Can I try to push for a brains roll in which I determine if do these all look aged to the point that they would all be from 100 years ago, or is there something in there that's like a little bit newer?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
God, going off a conversation from last episode, I really do think the D10 should be the D12 in terms of the shape. I think someone said
It makes more sense in my
Yeah.
brain.
But like, how would you carve that? How?
Don't worry about it. Shut up.
How, Batman?
I think this would be a straight brains roll. You're not looking at just things that came from ships too, right? So this isn't really a piloting thing anymore. I will say uh Ruiso would be a good honestly, Ruiso and Rudy both are good people to assist on this if you wanted help because they're science people in different ways.
Guys, really quick. Do you see anything around us that looks like it's newer than 100 years old?
I would say maybe the engineer might be good for assisting, just because like testing, like
yeah, and I also do have the mechanical investigation skill.
yeah.
So you're asking if I can see anything from an alien culture that looks newer than 100 years.
Yeah, does everything look like it's dinged up to the same degree, or is something a little less dinged up?
It's tough but possible.
So does that mean if Rudy's helping me, do I just get advantage? Or is it
That's only a commander thing, but
okay?
it would lower the DC a little bit.
Okay, tight.
So, but it sounds like Rudy, were you the one who wanted to make the roll because you have a skill pertaining to that?
I mean, I can do if I just want to steal Laddie's whole flow.
Go for
Oh, hell yeah.
So then Laddie would
I'm the
lower
main
it.
character. Me!
it.
Well, only because your skill wouldn't come into play unless you're making the roll, right? So,
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
So let's see.
Ooh, reroll ones because I'm a human.
Fun.
Let me tell you the DC before you tell me
I
that.
just
And I
choose
got
not
a
to
2.
fail. Ooh.
Let me zoom into your handwritten card that you sent me.
Enhance.
You wanted a picture.
I respect it, honestly.
Do you need me to read it? I'm very good at deciphering Ben's handwriting.
Man, fuck you guys.
No, it looks enough like my handwriting that I understand it. It's more that it's a smaller picture, so I had to zoom into where the stuff is written.
Yeah.
Then that's crazy that you don't just keep your character sheet in your phone, because otherwise you'll lose it like you've lost all your other character sheets. That's me. That's not you.
Do you see this? This is every character sheet I have ever made. My very first D&D character from 2016 is in this.
That's pretty slay.
And if it's in that one tiny folder, you got to play more D&D, man.
I
Same.
reuse characters.
Everything's in here.
So, Rudy, you're looking for a 13.
Bitch. I got an 11.
Nor.
Star point for you.
Wow,
failure.
we succeeded so much last
in the last episode.
Here's what
yeah.
you
Star
here's what
points
you learn.
galore.
With your knowledge of this kind of thing, of what ships are made of, right? You're not coming away with nothing. What you're realizing is, while you can determine that, okay, this is a different metal and maybe even a different design sensibility in certain parts, there is effort to preserve some of those design sensibilities, which is why this is possible in the first place for what Laddie was originally looking for. That speaks to something cultural you don't quite understand yet. The idea of like keeping some of these ideas intact, which is also why like the ships look kind of hodgepodge, right? They could have just melted down the metal or like beaten it into shape to make them all look the same, but instead they keep them looking cobbled together entire pieces, right? But what you do realize is they are so meticulously kept up and cleaned. In fact, you start noticing, now that you're here, there are other robotic bodies now. You notice as you step out of this chamber where you were being hosted and start walking down that promenade again, you see that the pomp and circumstance of your welcome is now over, and they're trying to show you what they do. So you now see about, I'm going to say, just on this first promenade area, about 5 of these robot bodies who are cleaning. They're just straight up cleaning and performing routine maintenance. And you see such attention to detail that determining age on these things would be difficult, because no matter how old any of this is, it's being kept up so precisely.
If we want to figure out how old any of these things are, we need a cultural officer here and also knowledge of the cultures to just figure out when they were designed. It's like trying to go back to ancient Rome and try and figure out a Carthaginian versus Roman boat without knowing what either of those cultures are.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about.
Or even taking samples and shavings and looking at the, is Half-Life an appropriate term in this situation? Probably not.
Radiology is for fucking nerds.
Half-Life is the rate at which something decays.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it only referred to
You'd want to go
specific...
like carbon.
We can have fun with
dating.
language.
Yeah, but you
cool.
could take physical like metal shavings or samples, right, and then
analyze
look at
them.
it and figure out how old it is, right? It would take that. You can't just do it observationally based on what you just determined.
It would also require us to go back to our own ship, and that doesn't seem like that's happening.
Yeah, Commander. Oh, sorry, Commander, if you're about to say something, I just wanted to ask if the captain needed to hop into negotiations at all, or if we have full right of way, I suppose.
I will soon be returning to our shuttles to be able to more efficiently make contact with him on that exact point. However, I did want to ask Prime Andalok. You specifically requested a maximum of 5 guests for this first meeting. Is there any reason for that? Is 5 a significant number in your culture?
5 does not have particular significance to us. In truth, it was largely self-preservation. We do not know you or your power. Likely you know more of us. You knew more of us before this meeting than we knew of you. We do not have a great deal of contact with the Symphony. Their assessment of you was largely recent. However, they have known us for generations. We have occupied the same galaxy. Therefore, logically, you have more access to a larger breadth of information about us than we of you. So, without knowing your complete intentions, we imagined limiting your number would be wise to try and mitigate any potential conflicts.
Before CTA, yeah, I cut you off real good. Before
Oh,
CTA heads to the shuttle, can Rudy ask Andalok to see his unoccupied body one more time? He wants to just Rudy wants to see like what it sounds like, what it feels like if he just like moves the arm like this.
You want
Um
to explore his body? You want to explore their body?
I just want to see like if it's like pistons or some sort of like steel cabling that's more like tendons that allow the arm to move.
Their body is a wonderland.
Oh, interesting. That means I have to decide if what that.
Yeah.
um, great. So, do you want to roll for this, or do you want to just get the information? Because there's no barrier to you getting this information.
We roll
Yeah.
all the
Okay.
time.
we be rolling.
Okay,
Even
you
though
might
we're
you might
rolling
get
like
more of a
dog
cultural
shit?
sensibility then too. So this one is super easy though. So 5 to succeed in just seeing this information. 10 to make an
No,
inference based on it.
which dice do I want to use? You know what? I'll use the Jeremy dice that you gave me, Eric.
Yay!
Oh, it's not that bad. 13.
Okay, so you don't find any sort of attempt to replicate physiology with like technology. This isn't a android body per se. It looks like a person, like an average person, um, but within it is pure utility. These things are just functional, right? So it's designed to be able to move smoothly. So I guess that might be some sort of cabling or something, but it's not like when you look at a transcended human and see like intricate vein work in the attempt to create something that the human mapped brain is familiar with so that the pathways can like connect properly, right? There's no attempt to do anything like that, which on that roll, the inference you make is that they don't see a reason to have it be that. Internally, who they are is who they are. You know, this is
So
just something they do for other people.
is it like, does it work with like steampunk automaton pneumatics? Or is it like pulleys and stuff?
Are they the robot from Treasure Planet
Are
or
they the robot from Treasure Planet?
I'm hesitant to say it's steampunky because I don't want it to seem clunky at all. Like I do want it to be functional, like in a future context.
It's the shinies from Robots, like the movie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
I do think it is largely I do
Movie
think it
soda
is largely
protest.
mechanical.
Mhm.
Yeah, because in like a Pondu robot body, right? The idea is they are connecting to a signal that is barred from joining their body and electrocuting them, but they are operating the computer, which then sends a signal to the like cybernetics in the arm to move, right? This is not, electric being inside, Titan inside sends a signal via the computer down to the cybernetics in the arm. They literally move it from the inside.
So that means that
Pacific Rim.
whatever they're made of somehow has enough mass if gathered together that it can move this body by itself.
Well, you did see again that malleability in the scan. The idea that they can compress and become more solid, or at least Andalok can.
can I both in character and out of character kind of just get a feel for what my fellow players are feeling about the situation right now? I think in character to CTA as we're walking back to the ship. I'll be like, so Commander, what are you thinking? Because this is kind of, I mean, it doesn't seem bad, but I just don't. This is like our second time interacting with a new group of people, so I'm just really curious what everyone is thinking.
Can I
Mr.
make a suggestion that you can reject or accept
Yeah,
at your discretion? Can we use that as an opportunity to hard cut to you with the senior officers in like back aboard the Mariposa,
yeah.
asking this as you are deciding now with the captain how you're going to proceed?
So staying aboard the prime vessel was a true request.
Yes.
Okay.
And you were also told as you were leaving that any members of the crew, of the Mariposa crew, have free reign of the ship. They can come on board the prime vessel and like walk around and see. It doesn't have to be just you guys anymore.
Before we depart, Prime Andalog, I wanted to ask, how do you sense? Do you perceive light in the visual range, much like a lot of us do? Or is it purely in the electromagnetic spectrum? Do you possess olfactory senses? Can you smell, taste? What are those capabilities?
It is difficult to explain, but we do possess the capability to see. We are capable of perceiving color and light.
Okay.
At least we are aware of it. Smell is perhaps more difficult. It is not a matter of smelling, but more being aware of chemical compositions as they approach our bodies.
I'm so sorry. Can I ask a super anal, technical, like scientifically technical question?
Yes, yes.
Go, science guy, go!
What is the spectrum of electromagnetic waves that you can sense? Visual range is from about 100-ish to like 800 nanometers. You get larger than that, and then you get like radio waves. You get smaller than that, you get X-rays and gamma waves. What can you see? Like, what is that? Give us a number. So you said that you can sense color, so that's probably like 600 to like 200, 300 to 800, 900 nanometers. So yes, electromagnetic, like smaller electromagnetic waves is like less than 100 to, sorry, less than like 200 nanometers. And that gets into like gamma rays, soft X-rays, stuff like that. And then higher than 800 nanometers. So like on the range of like millimeters, meters is like radio waves, like
I'm gonna
electrical
say
signal, microwaves, stuff like that.
they are able to perceive others of their own kind where
Okay.
your eyes cannot.
Okay.
So probably pretty sensitive because they're able to just detect an invisible electronic particle floating in the
Okay.
air somewhere.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a perfect answer to what I was asking.
This is what I was hoping would happen with you being on the show. It's also
Sorry.
still very intimidating, but it's awesome. It's what I want because I need
My
to be able to
specific
think of this stuff.
my specific science background does pertain to light, so this is something I'm a little more knowledgeable in.
Follow up. What does that mean to me as a Pondu? Because I don't know if we've ever discussed what Constant sees on a day-to-day basis.
I think when you are not in a Pondu sphere
Uh-huh.
and you're in a safe environment for your body to just be out. First of all, you can't disconnect yourself from the water. Even though you are the electricity in the water, you can't leave it, you know. But if you're in an environment that simulates the atmosphere of Pondur, you see with a sort of daredevil radar sense. You don't really see necessarily, you just have a strong sense of what's around you because you're sort of sending out pulses on the air. I think part of Pondur's atmosphere is like conducive to that as well.
Hmm.
Something about like the evaporation cycle. That's why you don't want to be out, because you don't want your water to evaporate at all. Um, but if it does a little bit and cycles back to you, that water cycle is part of how you're able to map out what's around you.
Mm.
That makes
Mhm.
sense?
Yeah.
But when you're in a Pondu sphere has cameras.
Yeah.
So you're connecting to the cameras and you
Oh.
see like anybody else can because you're seeing through the cameras.
Cool.
The Pondu are just like straight up Bluetoothing themselves
Yeah.
into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the
Pondu
biggest
has-
difference that you're learning between what the Pondu can do and what the Tyteans can do. Is that the Pondu have to be very careful not to let their systems mingle with anything else. You don't put strain on yourselves and you can't leave your water. So everything is via connection, via some sort of like signal.
Gotcha.
Whereas they animate everything that they control
Hmm,
just with their electricity.
that's fun.
Doesn't mean
Cool.
that you couldn't still be related in some way. Doesn't preclude that.
So
If
what
anything, it
I'm-
raises questions of
What,
what.
I'm getting is when I see McAllister's fugly mug, I'm seeing it for real.
Yeah, in your sphere,
Yes.
yeah.
Cool. Very important for me to know.
Mhm.
The
So
blue
are we good?
Gatorade has thermals.
I will not hear the slander too. McAllister is the handsome man.
He's very handsome.
Um,
I just constant they hate him.
so hard cutting into the meeting room.
So,
Yeah.
you guys, I mean, Commander and also Captain, but Commander, you were actually, we were all there. What is your kind of read on this vibe? Because I feel very unsure. Um, to also be fully transparent with everyone in this room, when we boarded the ship, I was not wearing protective gear and did kind of my own volition, apologies, uh, communicate with the ship through electromagnetic waves through my feet, and it was really, it felt so good. It felt really good, but it was kind of like this euphoric sense, and then it felt like I was kind of shedding a bit of my consciousness, and then everyone saw like that weird electromagnetic ghost of me kind of fall into the ship, right?
Correct.
Oh dear, says humbly. Were they offended at all? Well, I suppose
Yeah,
if they
they
were,
didn't
we would
like.
know.
Yeah, he didn't like that, so that's why I kind of preempted the apologies.
And then Tufti goes, but was there in any? Were they able to detect what happened to this? What you call electric ghost? Were they able to see what happened of it after that?
Yeah, they seemed like they sensed it, but then they sensed it dissipate after a short period of time. It wasn't maybe like 20 minutes.
Interesting, very interesting. And you feel fine now.
Yeah, yeah. Do I do I want to get back to that good feeling, Ian?
Are you like pining for it?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Not.
Okay.
I mean,
Is it like a drug?
I mean, I feel like that's kind of up to you, but like biologically, there is nothing that, or mechanically, that is forcing you into that situation.
Okay.
I think. Go ahead and roll a. This is a secret DC. Go ahead and roll a resolve check for me.
Okay.
He's possessed. We gotta kill him now.
Please, please, God, I need this. I really need this. Hey, a 10. What's a
Hey.
10? On a D12?
Spend adversity right now. It's not enough.
You take a moment. You are not like
Uh-oh, Ben's right. It's not enough.
you are not like Koti Ra in the sense of like the most sort of monastic approach to your electroconduction.
Yeah, that's definitely not my vibe.
It's a little bit more something that you feel out. You do it almost emotionally, right?
Yeah.
Which is a different approach, a valid approach that other people do, but it means that your connection to it is based on a mechanism you've created rather than just sort of like focusing and like using a bit of that Kithrali ancestry for micromuscular control.
Mm.
you know that there are the nuances of Volkai physiology. We can get into that. Volkai skin has two layers. There's the outer sort of epidermis that is that amphibian sort of slick uh, skin, but underneath that, there is a membrane, a porous membrane between your musculature and your epidermis. That is where your black vein physiology resides. It
Yeah.
is an adaptation from your ancestors being exposed to black vein, working in the black vein swamps, and it getting into their pores slowly over time. Um, and what this does is it regulates the bioelectricity in your body so that there is nothing unaccounted for. So the shorthand for that is it is impossible to get static shock from touching a Volkai because your body does not allow any output of electricity that you don't want to happen. Because even just a little static charge, if you're in the black vein swamp, could be amplified by the electro superconductor that is the black vein and kill you. Right? So your body evolved to regulate electricity within your body perfectly. But the byproduct of that is that porous membrane you have from your Keithrali ancestry. That micromuscular control evolved to controlling that porous membrane. So when you want to tap into the stored electricity in those nodes along that membrane in your body, you can actually make that membrane more porous in places where you want so that you can allow the black vein in your body to superconduct the bioelectricity that you send there and then expel it out, right? So all that is to say that what you feel right now, you know where those points are on your body. You feel there's a soreness there. Like they're sort of still a little bit in shock, almost like bruised. You feel ever so slightly, if you look at like on your arm, you keep noticing, if you really focus on it, these little twitches, like you're having little muscle spasms. It doesn't
Ooh.
hurt. It just feels like that membrane is sort of, it's been overcharged or something.
Is it
That's all you really
manifesting
know.
within how the black vein flows through my body?
No, those are, the pigmentation of that is just sort of a byproduct of rapid evolution because the Volkai evolved very quickly compared to like how other subspecies evolve. When they went from being Kithrali to being Volkai, it happened very quickly, right?
But the elements of it within my skin kind of they do fluctuate like a drop of paint in water, right? Like there's a kind of it's not static.
Oh, originally no, that's not like generally what they're supposed to do. Um, but they can, since it is like just sort of pigmentation like between layers of skin. It could be free floating if that's what you want. It'll just stay relatively in the same place.
I think that was something I kind of established as a physical trait of his within the first chunk of Starlight Future. That's really neither here nor there. I was just
Yeah.
wondering how the body is manifesting this
Mm.
in these twitches. But yeah, yeah, it was all good on the ship, but now I just feel kind of like, you know, like kind of ooh, a little bit extra energy is flowing through the veins. That's slowly getting dissipated, but it's just kind of twitchy. Um,
Perhaps it would be best, says the captain, to summon Dr. Feng and run a more detailed analysis to make sure that everything is in ship shape within your body after this encounter.
My
Doctor,
thoughts exactly.
okay, Dr. Fang gets really stressed really easily, so I'm kind of worried about me being like, yeah, I did this kind of crazy shit. But yeah, I think that's the best way to get that information.
I must say, from an ethical standpoint, the Pondu have complete autonomy to decide this for themselves. Now, an entire fleet of ships coming to this galaxy, a shared space, is distressing. And where the line is in terms of what agency the Cosmic Trust has to make such a decision, that is the gray area, an area that requires some negotiation. But I believe we are ethically obligated to inform the government of Pondu that the Tyteans desire to visit them, and ultimately it is their decision and their decision alone. We can only advise and give our opinion. So before I inform the government of Pondur, I am interested to know your preliminary report.
I am suspicious. The manner in which Prime Andalok spoke was incredibly forward. Now, that may just be intention being lost in translation, as it were. However, there is an eagerness there that at times bordered on desperation. Unprompted, they brought up the concept of Tytean reproduction, making it very clear that Tyteans cannot make more of themselves. They can only recycle, as they put it. I am worried that this desire to go to Pondur and see how Pondus create more of ourselves has a deeper ambition to it that is not well intentioned.
Liam crosses his arms when you say unprompted, and he leans back thoughtfully in his chair. If I may, sir?
You may.
I don't believe the remark was unprompted. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I very well could be, but I was trying to watch out for their body language, the differences in the way that they communicate. And it seemed to me that when they brought up reproduction, it was to justify, to explain why their perspective has changed. That this cyclical nature of adding new perspectives and then reshuffling their traits amongst their most trusted. I think they were trying to earn our respect, to say that as a leader they evolve. So I personally don't think it was unprompted. But from a security standpoint, what you're saying about their intentions, I think you're completely right. We don't know. There may be something sinister there, but I guess it's just a hunch.
Well,
Liam,
yes, sir, go ahead.
oh, I assume that you took the opportunity to scan their weapon capabilities, and forgive my intrusion, but you went on a sort of face journey of sorts aboard the ship. Would you mind elaborating on what you discovered?
Well, what I found was there was nothing more advanced than anything that we have here on board the ship. Some of it was actually physical, as in live rounds. They had hidden guns that operate on physical mechanisms that have to be triggered, just like everything else we encountered. They operate entirely with their bodies, right? But they're hidden away in panels that could be activated and controlled. But every single one of them was exactly where Andalok said they would be.
Did they have any photon lasers? Anything that wasn't physical, or was it all physical?
Well, their defensive output of the ship in general, yes, they had photons.
Okay.
But internally, the security measures that they have in place for people on board the ship were frankly very rudimentary.
I mean, everything technically timeline wise that was on that ship is we're supposing from 100 years ago. So it's interesting to know that at least within the past 100 years, most of the civilizations within this, or around a century ago, most of the civilizations within this galaxy are kind of aligned with our perspective and technological advancements. Circling back to kind of the reproduction elements, um, it's not it's understandable that they want to learn to reproduce, but also they view themselves as like a natural representative of the galaxy and the galaxy's energy. So, like math wise, given the ships and how many they can have per ship, there's only like 180 of them right now. And it feels like the general reproduction of more Titans could lead to them expanding their reach and being more of an active player in controlling the energy of the universe and the peoples within it. Yeah.
I also came to such a theory as well. When I say unprompted, what I mean is no one was asking them to justify their behavior in the past or now. It became clear to me that while this was their opportunity to sort of show off and explain why they had asked for us specifically, it felt to me that Prime Andalok was more interested in saying what they wanted to say rather than having a true two-way conversation.
Because they're just trying to, sorry, anyone else can speak, but I'm just going to say, uh, they're just trying to get to Pondur. Like, they don't really
Correct.
care what we're about to do. They're just like, let me into that water planet.
Well, we did not ask permission before exploring this galaxy. None can know our intentions until they meet us. Perhaps they must be afforded the same opportunity that we do. And regardless of these arguments, it is ultimately to the Pondu to decide. I have heard your perspectives, and unless anyone has anything else to add, I believe it is time to tap into this notion of respect that the Tyteans seem to have. This I see as a preliminary meeting, but it is time for me to meet this Andalok face to face. I shall invite them here, and if they refuse, I will go there myself.
You see Rudy like kind of sit up and then like lean back. He's been very quiet and introspective this whole meeting. Um I think unless anybody brings it up to him, he'll remain silent on what he's thinking right now though.
Rudy, what were you thinking?
Um well, Lieutenant Commander, I just my suspicions, we have a bad set of cards, I
Mm.
feel. They have their entire fleet, and even alone, Andalok, if not being able to just outright defeat the Mariposa, would give us a hell of a bloody nose and allow the rest of their fleet to do whatever they want. And it just feels like they're, maybe it's just because they're used to being listened to or something, but a lot of their suggestions carry an undercurrent of threat. I don't know if I'm just I just there's I feel it in my gut that like we can't let our guard down. And I don't know. I feel like they're going to say no to coming aboard the ship. Or if they do come aboard the ship, there'll be some kind of contingency that would force us to allow them to let them go to Pondur. I I can't find it in myself to trust them.
I think it's natural to be suspicious because this is, the first people after the symphony that we're even running into. So we're still learning, our best practices and all that jazz.
It is a difficult issue. How we proceed can very well define our entire voyage into the unveiled galaxy. I mean no pun in saying so, but our first voyage was within something of a vacuum. We never truly made it all the way into the galaxy, but now we have a map, an idea of who we may encounter, and there could very well be others. In fact, I'm certain of it. The scope of the symphony is vast but still limited. Regardless of our trust, we are obligated to try. That does not mean we have to let our guard down. That is why you were chosen for this mission. Why you are my most trusted. And he looks over to not only all of you, but like the entire command team. Everybody nods to that. He goes, I will extend the invitation and proceed from there. But as I said before, the decision is not ours to make in the end, only our council. Therefore, humbly, if you would be so kind as to contact the government of Pondur and inform them of the situation. Yes, sir, right away. In the meantime, you are all to continue your duties as normal. Perhaps, Mr. Rodriguez, you can put that brilliant mind to work coming up with some fail-safes, we shall say. Run them by Mr. McAllister. I will summon you all when a decision has been made. Dismissed.
Aye, aye.
The captain.
I go with Laddie to the doctor.
You go straight there.
I make him go straight there.
That actually, I have follow-up questions for that whole thing that I experienced. So I think, yeah, it's good that we're going together.
Okay. So you go to the medical bay, this very clinical expanse of largely white and cool grays. And you go to Dr. Feng's office and you see them there with Nurse Nava, who is wearing the similar white of medical, but is I would say maybe about 5'8", Nok Unala. So she has completely black fur, no horns, very short ears, and these like very piercing slitted eyes, or like slitted feline sort of pupilled eyes. And as you step in, Nurse Nava greets you. Hello.
Hello. Is the doctor in?
Yes, Dr. Feng actually, I think they were in the commit because they're like the head of a department, so they walked with you here. And the entire time they're just like muttering to themselves, just sort of like thinking about all the possibilities of what this could be. And then they explain it to the nurse to the best of their ability. And then, yeah, laddie.
Okay, something that I was thinking about that I didn't want to, it feels like too big of a conclusion to make, but in feeling that a part of myself was sloughed off and fell into the ship. No, it's CTA, that's a good metaphor. You like that, actually.
Terrible word. I hate that word so much.
Sorry. is there any way? I mean, like they said that the energy dissipated after a while and it was gone. But is there any way that the psychology and consciousness of a Pondu could be taken over, or like an element of them could be extracted since they are primarily electric and water beings?
Hmm. This has certainly never happened before, but I cannot discount the possibility.
It is something I was thinking. I just want to make sure everyone gets protected and that we don't put ourselves in a bad position.
Dr. Fang goes, theoretically, and they're already like moving you into this full body sort of like,
An MRI machine.
yeah, but I think it's sort of claustrophobia proof, right? It's like a upright, uh,
It's
well,
like a
saying that
a
you walk into an
TSA
Iron
thing.
Maiden is not a very good, but it's like it sort of opens and it is open air and it just has these scanning bars against a wireframe. So it's not completely enclosed, but you stand in it and it wraps around you and begins like scanning 360 across your body as Dr. Fang watches the monitor and goes, well, theoretically, well, you know, Rokai physiology should actually make it a little bit more difficult for you to take in, you know, foreign electricity. It's
Yeah.
And if you do, your body has means of storing it and then naturally dispersing it throughout your body. What I'm seeing here, I'm seeing a sort of bruising of the membrane. It looks as though your the nodes under your skin, the places where you know you can sort of store excess electricity across your body in the event of being overcharged, it looks like they actually were overcharged, which is something that is very difficult. That's not easy to happen. Actually, that's kind of wild. But that happened. That's why you're experiencing spasms. I can actually help with that. I can reduce the inflammation, and um, you'll be fine. Before you walk out of here, you'll be fine with that. But the thing that I can't really help is I'm not seeing any excess bioelectricity in those areas left over, but I am seeing one in your. Sorry, don't don't be alarmed. You're fine. But Volkai have a series of biological failsafes for this sort of thing. Everything in their bodies is designed to keep electricity from frying you from the inside out, whether it's your own or from external to your body. And in the event of an overcharge, the most functional, for lack of a better term, like heat sink, is actually located in the brain. There is an entire. That's why Volkai have such big. That they have a special. They have an extra part of their brain that developed,
You got a
and
big ass head, boy.
because it's the most important part of your brain that, you know, runs the hottest and has the most electricity and therefore would be the worst to get fried, would be your brain, right? So closest to the brain, you have your sort of last line of defense. So in the event of an overcharge, if your nodes within your membrane all across your body cannot functionally disperse an overcharge quickly enough, most of that will get funneled to that node in your brain. That part of your brain, it's still there's some it's well, look, and you see the readout of your brain and you see that extra like lobe of your brain that only Volkai have. It's like lit up. There's so much bioelectricity emanating from just that part of your brain. And ordinarily speaking, you know that this wouldn't affect your cognition at all. In fact, this is a pretty normal thing. It should just bleed off naturally. There shouldn't be anything weird about it. Other than that, it takes a lot to make this happen.
Laddie takes a very slow, contemplative hit of his vape And this goes, okay. I don't know what to do about that. So, Commander,
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say. That's a lot of information. Um, what do you think we should do now?
Well, if you are feeling fine and the doctor has determined that you are in no medical danger, I would say that we need to heed the captain's orders and go back to our usual duties. At least until Pondur responds.
Okay. I'll just go
However,
check. Good.
if you would like someone to accompany you to take your mind off things or to talk to, please know I am always here.
That is very kind, and I appreciate that. I probably will ask you for help, but I'm just gonna go check in with Commander Zila and see if she has any work for me to do, just to get my mind off things.
I will ask, Doctor, would you say that the bioelectricity in Laddie's brain is sort of at maximum?
Yeah, I mean, close to. The thing is, uh, it bleeds off naturally. It disperses through,
And
the rest of the
But
body.
but
how
Um,
long?
if I hit that again, would I like go unconscious or something?
This is my exact concern.
Yeah.
It may prove fruitful to expel some of that electricity now.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll just go mess around with some stuff in my room and make some little droids. I don't know, something.
it won't be easy. Uh, just, I mean, I don't want to explain your own physiology to you, but
You already
just,
did, it's okay.
this, it's meant to be a last resort, right? It's supposed to essentially dissolve into your nervous system, disperse, normally become a part of your nervous system. It's a lot easier to do that from your actual membrane. That's your ability to control that. But when it's up there in your brain, it takes a pretty significant amount of control to tap into any of that. If it's there, it means that it was too much for the rest of your body to handle. I personally wouldn't recommend trying to expedite flooding that into your system so that you can expel it. I would think it would be safer for you to let it happen gradually, otherwise, you could just overload yourself again.
Would heightened physical activity sort of naturally accelerate such a dispersal?
There are conflicting studies about that. I think that the results are sort of marginal. It's really a toss up. It's certainly possible. People have talked about diet being a factor as well.
I'm not gonna go work out. It's not gonna happen right now.
My best recommendation is to try and get a good night's sleep if you can. I know you kind of
I've
had a
never done that before in my
sort of
life.
a weird ghostly experience. I can imagine that being something that would keep one up. But if you can sort of get past that, and sort of just visualize yourself sleeping, um, yeah.
Vi yeah, I'll visualize myself sleeping. That'll probably be most effective.
I'm going to
Uh,
need to make a more detailed analysis as well. The bioelectricity at first glance, it is yours. It's interesting because when you're overloaded, it is functionally black vein in your body. It's not entirely black vein. That's a bit of a misnomer. People say like, "Oh, there's just black vein in your body," but it's your body's adapting, your adaptation. It's sort of it. You get it. But it amplifies existing electricity if you let it. When that membrane becomes porous, you are allowing the black vein to make more electricity out of the existing electricity in your body, right? And your body is telling you, I can't handle whatever this is, so we're putting it up here, right? Uh, I can run a more detailed analysis of my readout here and determine sort of the composition of the electricity that's currently residing in your brain. And all I can tell you right now, without further analysis, it mostly looks like yours. Like whatever you touched broke down that barrier, and your body amplified the electricity and made more than you could handle. Doesn't look like you're being possessed. That's all I'm trying to say.
All right. Laddie's just slowly backing towards the door. I'm gonna thank you, Doctor Commander. What's the nurse's name that's also
Nava.
here? Nava. I'm gonna go just see if there's any work to do. And maybe that work will be going to sleep, but we'll figure it out.
Constant will, with the back of their hand, rest it on, because they know that Dr. Fang does not like a whole bunch of physical contact, but with the back of their hand, just rest it on the round of their shoulder and say, "Thank you, Doctor. That was very helpful."
Of course. Yeah, I'll tell you when I know more.
Always lovely to see you both.
She goes, "You as well, sir. Be well."
Alternate universe where concept thoughtful actions is always the guy who puts the hand on the lower back in a very creepy way.
Oh yeah, the grandpa touch. So, yeah.
Constant shitty actions.
Okay. So in this interim, you guys are welcome to tell me if you do anything significant during this time while you're just sort of waiting around. But there is some important stuff that, as like the first officer, you would be privy to that happens during this time. The main one is within a matter of minutes, like during the time that you're in Dr. Fang's office, when you come out, you are notified that a shuttle is currently ferrying Andalok themselves to the ship. Andalok is coming.
Bellissimo.
Yeah. So that's the only sort of significant canon event that happens like during that window.
If I'm not asked for, I don't want to be there. Constant is like, I neglected to say that in the meeting, Constant's voice was the ever sort of calm, soothing, but their water was like spinning pretty fast. So if Okita doesn't need me, I'm fine to just not be there.
Well, I have something. I have a scene in mind, if you don't mind me
Yeah.
Go off,
hopping in.
King.
I think that during this, while you two were getting checked out by the thing, he'll once again hit up his best friend, Lieutenant Veal, uh, and like he'll summon her to his room slash workspace. Um, you had to approve this. Anyways,
I regret it. Technically, McAllister had to approve it.
oh, so base. That's my best friend. But when she gets there, she'll see like him with like a bunch of like blueprints and like an idea board that has some scratched out and others like underlined. Um, and he's just like, hey, Veal. So, um, how was your day? Well, how are things on the ship here while we were over there?
Little tense, staring down the barrel of 32 ships of unknown origin, inhabited by electromagnetic beings with a history of interventionist policy, is disconcerting. Yeah, it's disconcerting, but it's also exhilarating. I mean, these are the first people, what are we going to do? Be extra cautious? I mean, yes, we're going to be extra cautious, but like ultimately, right? This is what we signed up for, and the first two peoples we met, right? The first one were people who communicate telepathically via crystals and music, who sent us on an adventure through time, kind of. And then we met the second people, I guess, technically that would count, would be the sentient nebula that created a time distortion and wanted to know how to interact with people. And now
Did happen.
3 for 3 on interesting situations. another electromagnetic being. I mean, I imagine if I were a Pondu right now, I would be kind of thrilled.
We cut to constant thoughtful actions in their quarters, in their sphere still, but the water is like roiling inside of the bowl. And then we cut
Constant
back.
thoughtful anxiety.
So true. Um, I wish I could share your optimism, Veal. I'm a little bit less, and you'll see like he'll like reach out for like a cup that has a bunch of different pencils for design work, and he'll miss and knock it over, and like his hand is like shaking. He'll be like, "Yeah, I'm a bit more nervous about this. Um, not knowing, not being able to tell right away whose friend is or foe is something that I guess I wasn't prepared for. Um, yeah, I just I'm really worried. Uh, 'Cause I don't know, there are a lot of people that electricity is a really big deal, and they're really good at manipulating electricity, and I just the thought of something happening to the commander or to Laddie or to even you, it's kind of unnerving, you know?
A part of why I signed up for this mission was to be among the best of the best. I'm not going to pretend that it wasn't. It's not even ambition. It's not about like career. It's that I know what I'm good at. It's this. I mean, maybe not, specifically this, but it's. I have no illusions. I have the literal receipts for my ability in my field. And I think I deserve to be here. Fast promotion supports my hypothesis. But it's still true that you and I are among the younger people given authority on this ship. In fact, I was pretty relieved when I first saw your file. It might be fun for some people to be the only prodigy around. Not for me. It's not. I'm not trying to be a lonely genius, So, same thing with Callie, and so many people here are just. Intelligence breeds uniqueness, I guess. And meeting unique people out here in a unique place. I'm scared, but I'm still getting what I signed up for. And I trust these people. All of them. Even the absolute weirdest ones. Maybe them even a little bit more, actually. I don't know. Maybe I'm rambling at this point, but I think maybe action is the best medicine. If we're worried, let's do something.
I can't argue with that one. And before he goes back to his drawing board, he'll kind of pause for a second and say, "Can I don't know, I feel like just maybe a little bit of human connection."
She reaches out and she takes your hand, and you feel a warmth that is to some degree artificial, literally artificial. But it is hers, nevertheless. And she smiles at you. And then she looks down at your hands and goes, I'm going to let you determine how long is appropriate for this.
Yeah, that's that should be. I always thought that you would be cold. You know, because I guess that's you learn something. Anyways, graphite grenade.
Plenty of time to further your education, Mr. Rodriguez.
Hashtag never been kissed.
Whoa.
She's rizzed out, dude.
Whoa.
And she turns around and stands in the doorway. And then looks back at you over her shoulder. Well, Slowpoke.
That's great and all, but I really do think that we need to get on this like really quickly.
Oh, here. You want to work here?
Yeah, here. I mean, I have all my stuff here.
Oh, no, yeah, that's great. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That was not clear to me.
Oh, you were talking about going to engineering and not. Oh, okay.
No, it's fine. Either whatever is fine. And she comes back in, and the door closes, cutting the scene.
Perfect.
Your Honor, they're adorable.
I should have that. Can I go find Toofty?
Yeah.
Doofty.
Yeah.
Doofty. Doofty.
I would imagine he would be in the Arboretum, or they would be in the Arboretum.
At this moment, I think he would be. I don't think there's any great need for his services right now. What's going on is not very much like science-y in this regard.
Right.
Or at least not in a way that requires him to be there. I think you would find him in Triskaideka, which is the 13th deck that when you arrive there and the doors open, you step out into a city.
Yep.
It is functionally nighttime. It does keep on like a day-night cycle. So the skybox is currently showing a starry sky and a projection of a moon, like a crescent moon. And you see several city blocks that have these multicolored, like blue and purple and red neon lights. You can smell like cooking food from restaurants. You see just civilians, people who are not in Cosmic Trust uniforms because they are not Cosmic Trust. They were chosen to be civilian representatives of the peoples of the Cosmic Trust, who have chosen to take up their business here to show bits of their culture to whoever we may meet amongst the stars. And you find this quaint little restaurant with outdoor, in quotes, seating. And you see Toofty sitting at a table by himself looking at a data readout, but it's like projected up holographically so he doesn't have to touch anything. And with his other hand, he has like chopsticks and he's eating this like brothy, noodly soup of some kind. It has like a very umami kind of mushroomy smell to it that you recognize. It actually it smells like something that you recognize from the moons of Unal. A mushroom that is native to all 4 moons. There are very few things that are native to all 4 moons, but this is one of them.
May I join you, Commander?
Yes, of course. I was just going over the schematics that you sent from your first trip. It's very interesting. Would you like a bowl, by the way?
Sure. Thank you.
You see that he puts up a finger and the chef comes over and you see it's another Unala, but like a much bigger, like portly Unala with like this big tuft of hair that like doesn't go up into a full mane. It's just like a ring around the neck that puffs out of this collared shirt. And he takes the order and in a few moments brings out another bowl of this steaming mushroom noodle soup.
I'll take some time to like eat it. And then I sort of observe Toofty observing the schematics, and I just kind of like chime in like So, what do you think of the Prime Vessel?
Well, I'm no cultural officer, but it's very strange indeed. I cannot hold it against anyone for desiring change and to be in a position of leadership and so transparently advocate for an entire cultural overhaul is. I feel for them. Even us. You know, amongst our own people, it is difficult to advocate for a grey area between the many hands and the devoted. It is an uphill battle I have fought my entire life, but I continue to try to be a loud voice for that change, to be acknowledged.
As true as that is, bringing our own culture into this analysis, it is equally as interesting that there is no, there does not seem to be a lot of opportunity for diversity among the Tyteans. Everyone seems to be united in mind and spirit behind Andalok. And Constant had made was it Constant? Or I don't know if Asteria said this out of, or if this was said out of, or was it Eric? It seems
Someone.
cult-like. It seems
Somebody said
cult-like.
something.
Someone said something. And I cannot help but be wary of it. It seems as though I know that we are a exploratory organization, and although we are rather new at this, I believe it is in the best interest of everyone in all galaxies to do as the captain says and treat others with that give them the benefit of the doubt. But I still cannot shake the feeling. For instance, Liam had taken a scan of the weaponry aboard the vessel, and to Andalok's credit, Andalok identified all of the weapons that Liam had found on the scan. Liam had found them to be rudimentary, but does that line up with generations of them being a force that imposes themselves against other races and is for the large part successful? It doesn't line up in my eyes that they would be successful with such rudimentary weaponry as it has been said. It is almost as if Andalok is only showing Liam and us as a result what they only want us to see.
It is certainly possible, though I do wonder, with their record of success, how many people are they allowing aboard the Prime Vessel in the first place? Perhaps internal security of their ship is simply not a factor, or they wish to project peace to those who they have chosen to extend it to. At this juncture, I cannot help but also notice that which you have noted in your log. They have made great effort to preserve the feel, the composition of the technology that they have assimilated into their own. They have not assimilated it. They cobble it together while other methods would be more efficient. And so I cannot help but wonder if they are trying to accommodate for a lack of diversity that is not their fault. I mean, the Unala, we are not able to, we are not biologically compatible with some of the other peoples of the Cosmic Trust, but amongst ourselves we have a great diversity of cultures, 4 different types of Unala who can interconnect. The Vrolkai and Kithrali being from the same world but being so different. Vrolkai and humans being able to interbreed and create a whole new people who are still figuring out who they are going to be, just as the Pondu are. And of course transcended humans with the most autonomy of all in theory. So I imagine there is a great loneliness in being a people who can be no more than what they are. And so,
This is true.
perhaps there is something there that we have not seen. Either way, I trust in the captain's judgment.
As do I. I just don't want us to make a mistake that comes at the cost of the Pondu. It seems that they are so uniquely interested in Pondur, and one fears the worst, that in an effort to reproduce or evolve, it comes at the cost of Pondur's autonomy. In one that, given in spite of 100 years of peacekeeping efforts, generations before that of more what was the word that you had used? Interference, sort of interventionalist. Thank you. Generations of interventionalist behavior that they simply won't take what they want.
I have a similar concern, but in the end, I try to push it away because all it can be is concern. In the end, autonomy is what it comes down to. The Pondu made a choice. The choice to remain independent, to choose their own destiny. That choice still remains. It is theirs to make. All we can do is be good friends.
I do not envy the captain at this time.
No,
one does,
or any time.
This is true. One benefit of being a lieutenant is that a lot of the time the decision does not come down to you. So,
Well, keep
I guess
spending time with the field team as a scientific consultant. You'll get a lot more practice with hands-on decision making.
and I suppose my comment suggests that that is something I need more practice in. So, I
I
welcome
suppose
it.
that is up to you. In the meantime, these mushrooms are exquisite.
Are they from Unala, or are they like a...
Oh yes, very fresh.
Ah, delicious.
I actually grow a crop of them in the Arboretum.
How did I not know this? I spent too much time at my desk.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
This, as all things, can be trained. Continues eating. Goes for a second bowl.
Russo will just kind of like nod in agreement and eat as well.
So, when you finish your meal, I would say about 2 hours go by. Maybe like 2.5 hours. You are summoned to the captain's office. Constant Thoughtful Actions is summoned.
Okay.
You open the door, and you find the captain sort of thoughtfully scratching his beard. He turns to you and he says, "The Prime Minister of Pondur, careful consideration, has reached a decision uncharacteristically quickly for their name. It seems as though they are very close to reaching a final decision. But it is their perspective, as well as the senators, that this is a perfect opportunity to make a final decision. The opportunity to experience a first contact of their own with the Cosmic Trust's help is a brilliant, according to them, trial to determine if they can still function with autonomy while working with the Cosmic Trust. It is their desire that we bring Andalok to Pondur ourselves and supervise their meeting. And should things go well, the Pondu will decide to join the Cosmic Trust. Andalak has agreed, and you must understand, this is controversial among the Tyteans. Andalak has historically, and the symphony's notes support this, never left the flotilla before. They always move as one. They never send even a single ship away, all the way away, but certainly never without their leader. So to be without their leader for an undetermined period of time, I have been informed by Prime Andalak that this will be difficult. There will be resistance, but ultimately they will heed the words of their leader, the decision of their leader. And so, I have agreed to ferry Prime Andalak as well as 2 of their attendants to Pondur, and we shall leave immediately. You are my chief counsel, and I am empathetic to your vested interest in this. If you have any objections or points of counsel, this is the time.
Constant is quiet for a long time. Not unnaturally long, but longer than they take to think about things and respond. And as the seconds tick by, the water in their bowl just goes faster and faster and faster and faster, fast, until there's like a tornado inside. And then all of a sudden, it goes completely dead still. No, Okita. I think we have done all we can. I shall inform the field team.
Very well. I shall give you the opportunity to inform the field team personally first, as you, again, were very effective in your role. They deserve to know first, and then I will announce to the crew. We will be underway in 1 hour.
Fuck. Okay. Yes.
How far are we out from Pondur?
It's in my notes.
In me notes.
It's like 5 minutes away. You're good.
In me notes. At maximum warp. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah, let's burn out those
Um,
warp drives, baby.
Yeah, if you move at like a reasonable pace, you don't like go full warp the entire time, you should be there in about 2.5 days. Pondur is the closest planet to the Unveiled Galaxy's border.
2.5 days. Hoy vey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
It was like 6 or 7 days from Vertex, and Pondu is like much closer, so. Yeah.
uncharacteristic to Captain Okita and CTA's relationship, Constant just respectfully leaves, doesn't really say anything, and immediately informs you all of what they were just told.
Where would you do that? Would you summon everyone to meet together, or would you like just go over the comms, or?
Yeah, I think it would just be over comms. But like I would go back to my quarters and then do it over comms.
Wait, okay, wait. So this is just kind of like a weird precedent to start. Like, are we just going to be ferrying every new group that we meet back to our galaxy so they can see what's up there?
I don't think it's that bad of an idea for us to act as mediators.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It is a good indication that Andaluk is willing to leave the flotilla, and at all, like this means that Andaluk is so eager to meet the Pondu that they are just that they're willing to make concessions and willing to make a sort of compromise. They are not it does suggest that they are possibly speaking the truth when it comes to their eagerness, desperation, even to
I
meet the Pondu.
I see that point and I agree with it. I would say the only contrasting point that I would like suggest is uh I don't know, maybe I was misunderstanding this, but it seems like Antelok is like in control of everybody in his group. And that, you know, who knows whether he can still be quite powerful away from them. But you know, I'm kind of a worry wart, I guess, when it comes to stuff like this now.
I'm less worried about Andalok like stressing his control over the group and more so just how they'll act without him. Because if this is that unpopular, who's to say that they might not just follow anyways? But Captain Okita is captain for a reason. Um, should I throw on the dress uniform for us to greet him as he boards the ship in an hour, or would that be unnecessary, first officer?
The captain made no indication as to sort of dress things up. I do believe that this is meant to be a not casual, but sort of business as usual operation to sort of show what our day to day is like.
But you know, if you're trying to look fly, you might as well dress up.
Well, I don't need to dress up to do that. First officer, when you have time, I have some prototypes that I would like to discuss with you if you could come by my quarters.
Of course. Perhaps you should bring them to engineering, as I do have to speak with McAllister.
Aye, aye, sir.
Before the hour is up and you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't really know what I'm doing. Can I just hit up Zila really quick and be like, "Hey, do you need me to do anything? We're kind of, I know, in a holding position until Prime Andalot gets here, but whatever you want."
Well, once we get underway, I mean it's pretty late. It's gonna be night shift, so you're off the hook for the night. But I'll need you in the morning. Take your shift at the helm.
All right. I was recommended by the doctor that I get some sleep, so I guess I'm gonna try to do that, but comms are open if you need anything.
You got it.
He goes and tries to meditate himself into sleep.
Okay. The captain makes his announcement. Oh wait, well, the captain would make the announcement first. Then, once you indicate, and you do hear there is like this silence that falls over the ship anytime the captain makes an announcement, a shipwide announcement, and says, "Attention, all hands. We have the distinct honor of ferrying the leader of the Tyteans, Prime Andalok, to meet with the esteemed government of Pondur. I expect everyone to treat them with respect and to remain cautious and vigilant. All those with electrical capabilities, be it Vrolkai or Pondu, I would ask that you be cautious in touching the vessels that these beings inhabit, as there may be unforeseen scientific consequences. Thank you very much. We will be underway in half an hour. Captain Okida out." You arrive in engineering.
Hello, Commander.
Hey, sir. What can I do for you tonight?
Do you have an empty can of soda?
There you go.
And you see CTA sort of goes up to a sort of railing that's around and leans on it and takes the empty can and puts it to their bowl and tilts their head back as if they're drinking from it, and then bends back down onto placing their robotic elbows back onto the railing, and one hand goes to their bowl as if they're holding their face in their hands. I am ready for this mission to be over.
I mean, I can respect that. It's, yeah. Forgive the, casualness, but it's a hell of a thing. I don't envy the position you're in now, sir. But, for what it's worth, I'm here to do my duty to the best of my ability. I mean, that's always true, but now, if you need anything.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And Constant will crush flat the can. So it's a perfect disc. And then say, "Where shall I dispose of this?"
Oh, well, I mean, I would say just, destroy it. There's like a little, like, complete incineration box. I don't know. I feel like there's not, single-use plastics and aluminums for stuff at this point in the STARLIT future. So whatever this vessel is, it's probably something that you can just immediately, like, recycle down to its atoms.
Wonderful. Sounds good. And I throw it away, and it goes whoosh.
Yeah.
And I wait for Rudy.
I think Rudy was standing in the doorway with like a cart in front of him, just like not knowing when he should speak up. Like he walked in when Constant was like crushing the can. He was like, uh, the hello, Commander.
Hello.
Um, hey, Callie. So, uh, I've workshopped some of new inventions. I need you're okay whether or not I can make these or not. Um, Starting with the more ethical, and he'll hold up what looks to be just like a normal can of like shaving cream, like from our time, and he says, "So, this was a more of an emergency measure, but this is like it's basically shaving cream with a bunch of graphene powder mixed in. Uh, the ideas is if they try and do anything weird and electromagnetically do stuff, uh, you throw it, it explodes and expands, and the graphene should dampen any electrical signals that they try and uh send out. In theory, I haven't really been able to test these, but it sounds correct to me.
I see no problem with this.
Nor
Awesome.
I.
I have a second idea where I could set up like electrical sensors on these and then place them on your chassis, uh, Commander Constance, so that in case they try and do anything directed at you, they would go off, um, and hopefully shield you from anything like that without being too conspicuous.
I do not think it would be wise to apply something to my body that has not been tested.
Fair, fair. Um, I'll we'll have like 2 days. I'll get back to you on what the tests reveal. Second idea, and he'll hold up what looks to be like a little mock-up, made out of like plastic or whatever, and he'll set it. So the idea behind this is that it would have 64 tungsten and gold lace spikes, and another graphene, uh, thing. And if they try and get hostile, you throw it at them, it explodes, sticks in them, and then essentially ground them and their electricity. Uh, I don't like the idea behind this, but we already carry around like blasters that can kill people. So this would be much more lethal. If you don't want to okay this one, I totally understand though. But options.
I think this one shall require the approval of the captain.
Understood. And last one, much more simple. It's essentially just like a harpoon, does the same as the second one, and he'll hold out like a little uh like gun thing with like a little tip poking out. Another captain's approval.
I do believe so, yes.
Aye, sir. Well, I think that's everything I have for you. Um, with your permission.
Of course.
And then he'll exit the thing, unsure of what you guys were talking about.
Okay.
Ian, I'm such a little slut for rolling. Can I roll to go to sleep? More so, I'm asking,
So-
can I roll to see if I'm able to expunge the excess energy that's within me?
So
He
What's-
needs those star points.
here's what's gonna happen. You try to get yourself to sleep to, doctor's orders, purge this from your body. And you do find that the sort of numbing agent that they gave you to chill out your bruised membranes, it worked fast, and it has a sort of soothing effect. So you don't have any issue getting to sleep. What I am going to do is have you make a resolve check to see if you notice something that happens passively during the night.
Is there any part of my skills I can roll for this? No, I don't think so. Yeah, let me go for it. What dice do I want to use?
This is gonna be
good today.
If I sing him a lullaby, would that
Do I get a do
Why?
I get a D4 for the lullaby?
you can
Why
add
would-
your supercharge, I think.
Really? Okay.
Just for your general understanding of what's going on. If you hadn't gone to the doctor and understood more what was happening, then no. But because you did, you can add your supercharge.
We're looking at a cool 15.
Ooh,
Okay.
baby.
First good roll of this session.
should have spent adversity?
True.
You are sleeping peacefully. I think you're dreaming of flight. You're sort of flying bodilessly through space. Almost like a Tytean might. Those stories are circling in your mind of when their fragmented memory that you were told about from when they first emerged in the universe and just floated aimlessly. You picture yourself doing that. You feel the starlight sort of kissing your skin, making you stronger, more solid, and as you move through space, you start to pick up speed. You feel yourself growing smarter and more aware and awake enough to feel that sensation of becoming lucid. You start to be aware that you're dreaming. And like so many lucid dreams, as soon as you become aware, it starts to pull away from you. It starts to lift away from you. And you reach for it because this feeling is so euphoric, this flying through space, this memory that it feels like it's too familiar, it's too real to just be your imagination. And you reach for it, and you feel a warmth in the back of your skull, similar to what you felt the first time. And as your eyes open into the darkness of your room, you see materializing, just standing over your bed, another barely visible static outline of your own body. And for a moment, it just stands there, and it looks down at you, and it turns its head and looks toward your door, completely ignores you. It just turns around and power walks out and through your door.
Oh, up out of bed, power walking after it calmly.
Okay. So you go to follow this, and as you get up, you feel like that pulsing in the back of your head. It's like dulled down, and as you're moving, it feels like completely gone. You feel totally normal now.
Oh, I'm chilling. Okay. Do I see it in front of me?
Yeah. So you're trying to catch up. Make a flight check. This thing is moving very fast.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bro, you can't power walk faster than me.
It's moving like it has a solid form when it doesn't
Ooh.
really. Its feet are colliding with the ground like it knows to run, but it's not really connecting. Like it's gonna move forward no matter what, if that makes sense.
Can I use my D4 in tracking?
Yeah, yeah, you're following it.
Okay. Come on, Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Yup,
Oh, I
that's
should probably
dirty
give you a
20.
DC. Oh, that's good anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you keep up with it. It is moving all the way down the hall, and you're right on its heels. There is a point at which it turns and walks through the wall, through someone's door here in the crew quarters.
Immediately go and knock, like, hard.
Rui, so you hear a loud knock on your door that wakes you up.
Okay, I wake up and what do I see?
You wake up and you see this blurry static outline that looks very much like Laddie.
Ah!
You see you see it looks down at your side table where the modified pistol, energy pistol that Laddie gave you, is sitting, resting. It reaches out with a hand to grab it, like it's gonna pick it up.
No.
It has
I'm going for that first.
it has no solid form. What are you saying?
I'm going for that thing first. I'm going for that pistol first.
Make an opposed flight check.
My electronic ghost is like, we stay strapped, no matter what.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Uh,
What the fuck?
Crazy.
What is happening?
I don't have any skills that can help me with this. It's just
I think you're still hearing
I rolled pretty bad.
flight, you said?
I only rolled an 8,
Yes.
so you just have to beat an 8.
Okay, I actually have a D10 on this.
You got this.
Three.
No! You got me with that.
Get up out of bed, but this thing moves with the speed of a thing just made of energy, and it sort of caught you off guard. So as you jump up out of bed, you're too late. You see it reach out as though to pick up the gun, but you see its electricity surges into the gun, and the image of its head and its hand, it looks like it's going to pick up the gun to look at it. It looks like it wants to consider it. And the motion of it, I will give you this for free, it looks exactly like when Laddie first gave it to you and was considering it. And it's like showing you the different settings. It's like a residual haunting. It's just doing something Laddie has done before. And as it's looking at this thing, you see that its arm is like, it has less energy now because it's gone into the gun. And then you see its entire form, having touched an electrical device, it looks like it all gets sucked into the gun itself, and you see sparks fly as this thing is overcharged, and it fires straight into your wall.
Okay.
And leaves just, it doesn't penetrate the hull. It's not powerful enough to do that.
Yeah.
But you do see, you look at the setting, and you see that it's like set up on a kill setting. Like it's set to max level. Like the max level it could possibly be. And you see a
I didn't know
smoking,
that.
half-melted dent in your wall.
Okay.
And you hear the commotion of whoever is in the next room,
Yeah.
like noting that something penetrated the wall a little bit. It didn't go all the way through, but it would be noticeable on the other side, I think.
Hey, whoever's in there, I want to help you.
Okay. All right. How do doors work? Is it like a switch? Is it like a motion sensor?
Oh, you can
Amos.
just tell Amos to unlock it.
Okay.
Amos is the
Um,
computer.
Yes. Okay. I'll let you be the adjudicator of this, because we haven't really fleshed out this aspect of the ship, like Bariso's room. But I do imagine it's like not. Sorry, did I understand correctly in that Rudy modified his room to be basically like an engineering station?
Not necessarily the composition of the room.
Sure.
He just brought in all of his stuff and like
Sure. Yeah.
made it safe.
Yeah. I don't imagine, and you can say whether or not like this happens or not, but I don't imagine that Ruiso is like so far in that direction that he creates like his own science station in his room. But I do imagine that he has like some components and stuff that he took with him from the Arboretum and is just kind of like absent-mindedly even, and just kind of keeps it in his room, and he just kind of just has forgotten to bring it back at times. So what Ruiso is going to do is say, first of all, Amos, get the door, and then he's gonna go hunting for a battery, like an empty battery.
I come in gun drawn. Oh, Risa, this is your room?
Laddie, this is your thing?
You saw the ghost. You saw the ghost. Okay. Why is your wall smoking?
You can ask your ghost that.
You see the pistol itself is also smoking. It's like it got overloaded completely and is now kind of destroyed.
Is it gone? Like,
yeah. Where is it? Is it still?
It's gone.
There?
Yeah, you don't see.
Oh, okay. I go and fish out just like a battery or something like that. That I know
easy
to
enough
empty.
to find. No roll required. Yeah.
And I go like, oh, it's gone. Okay.
I'm gonna pick up the gun.
Don't pick up the gun.
Okay, I won't pick up the gun. I just wanted to see if it's like dead, like if it's overridden to the point where it's unusable at this point. Also, I knock on the wall. Are you okay in there?
Did it look like the blast went through, or
it did not go through? The hull is too thick for that. Yeah, even at like max kill setting, it's not supposed to go through the walls like that.
Okay.
The highest setting is supposed to like cut through metal stuff, so that's kind of unavoidable, but like it didn't go all the way through. Yeah. But you hear on the other side, like just some you don't even know who this is on the other side. Just another crew member. You're like, is everything okay, sir?
It's good. We're having fun, and everyone is safe.
Imagine if it was Veal's room.
I'm now looking for the scanner that I brought with me to the vessel.
So
if I find it,
around?
I want to scan the pistol specifically, but then also like
go ahead and
scan
make
the
another scanning roll.
Okay, that is brains, and can I add my computer to that?
You're functionally using a computer as yeah.
Yep. Oh my god, both die explode.
Oh!
Let's go.
So that's already a 24.
He's good at his job.
Jesus Christ.
Good at his job.
24, 37, 40.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Going off of what the doctor said earlier, you tune the scanner to specifically detect Volkai bioelectricity.
Okay.
And you see that there's something of an after image where the gun is, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't detect this thing anymore. It is gone. It is fully dissipated. The scan tells you that. But the trace left within the overcharged gun is very clearly, like, I'm going to say like 99.5% Volkai and 0.05% something kind of unquantifiable that your scanner, because it's the same one you used earlier, recognizes from when you scanned Andalok. Just like ever so slight, like a whiff.
So
like the equivalent of like something like barely got accidentally like a whiff of something into the pot of soup you were cooking, but like barely any.
The gun has Volkai bioelectric signature mostly, and like a little bit of Andalok's bioelectric signature.
Yes, barely any, like fumes.
Okay.
And as you continue scanning it, you see that residual energy just dissipate rapidly until it's gone and completely undetectable.
When I note that it has like completely gone, and so I sense no more of either bioelectrical signature.
Yes.
I slowly, tenderly pick it up. The gun.
It's hot to the touch, but you can handle it.
Okay. I will first turn the dial down to its lowest setting.
Oh, you are confident it will not fire again. It has been
Okay.
overloaded. It needs to be repaired if it's going to work again.
Gotcha. Um,
Do you mind if I just take that as just like
I think it is. I think it is safe now.
okay,
Yes.
got you. Well, I'm so sorry. This
Yeah. Do you
does
mind explaining that? What gives?
I listen, I was having the best dream of my life. I love flying. I like to go fast. I like to go far. I was flying without a ship. It was crazy. I've never really even thought of that before. Sorry. Anyways, I woke up and it was just like standing over me, like looking down at me. And then it just started power walking away. Like like that kind of power walking. Where
Like
you're
this.
yeah, where one of your feet has to touch the ground at each time, like straight up power walking. Um,
Okay.
and then it led me here. This is not the circumstance in which I ever thought I would be invited to your quarters, but here we are. I guess it
You
was,
imagine circumstances in which I would invite you to my quarters?
yeah. What? Never mind. Don't worry about that. Uh, I, yeah, I'm gonna go tell somebody about this. I don't really know. Probably CTA. 'Cause I
Probably.
don't know.
Maybe Rudy. He can do some sort of scan on this device. Liam. Let's just get the whole field team.
Yeah. Wrist comms. Hey, I know we're all prepping for the imminent arrival of emissary of a whole full different faction. My ghost just popped out of my body and tried to shoot Rizzo. So we got the gun. Rudy, could you look at it?
To be fair, it did not try to shoot Ruiso.
No.
It
I
looks
know,
like it
but
just picked it up and yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, mhm.
I just want to say, in the interest of time, I am going to start like sort of montaging things out to their
Yeah.
natural conclusion.
Yeah.
I think the natural conclusion of this is you end up back in the doctor's lab scanning
Uh-huh.
your brain,
Yeah.
and you
I was gonna
catch
ask
this
for Dr.
fast
Fang,
enough.
too.
Dr. Fang goes, well, you know, I can tell that well, people used to think in the, you know, ancient past that, like, individual parts of your brain did individual things. We've since realized it's a lot more complicated than that. It's an intricate series of pathways. Not every one thing is, like, responsible for the one function solely, but more or less, we can tell what parts of the anatomy have recently been used at this point, and you very definitely have just had your sort of subconscious inhibition center, right? The part of your brain that is responsible for, well, quote unquote responsible for, you know, we can see that something between sleeping and waking in your subconscious sort of activated as that remnant of bioelectricity started to bleed off and pass through that system. It manifested as some sort of weird after image and carried out some uninhibited, half-remembered impulse of yours, and now it's gone. But you can clearly see the scan. That was it. It's out of your system. You're all good. And he does this, they do this very, like, see, it's good, smile.
I don't feel all good. This feels mid-bad.
I'm going to be complete. I imagine Ryuso is in the
Yeah, yeah.
doctor's office. I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you were to tell me that one of your subconscious impulses were to shoot a gun, I'd believe you.
Okay, that's fair, and I understand why you're making that assessment of my character. I don't want this to keep happening, especially if it's guns. I guess we're just gonna have to see. But I was sleeping and I was having a dream that was almost like I was one of the what are their names again? Sorry, I'm blanking.
Tyteans?
Tyteans. It was like experiencing that kind of body in space. And then I woke up and ghost power walked away from me.
Well, your body is designed to take in foreign electricity and scatter it across your body safely, so it's very possible that when you connected to the Titan, especially one so immense as the Prime, that it overloaded your system, amplified your own bioelectricity, and something got mixed up, and this is the result. In either case, I'm completely satisfied that it will not happen again. We would be able to see it.
I trust your judgment, Doctor.
Assuming you don't touch them again. Don't touch them again.
Yeah, I'm not. I just can't do anything anymore. Thank you. Rizzo again. Very sorry. T-minus how long until they get here?
Oh, they've been here for hours. It's the middle of the night. I was asleep.
Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna go up to the helm, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Just take a random shift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll pass the gun to Rudy at some point.
You'll see Rudy writing down on a on a piece of note paper, graphene sunscreen.
I got a question.
Yeah.
This is Noir speaking. Why graphene specifically?
I read online that it's good for absorbing electricity.
In that it's a good conductor, which means it's really good at spreading electricity.
Well, excuse me, but I didn't know that. I'm not a spaceman.
I think what you're looking for is a good insulator.
What's a good insulator then?
Rubber.
Not graphene, not tungsten, not coal.
Oh no.
Let me Google. Oh, coal.
Like rubber.
Rubber.
Oh, right. I mixed up the words when I read them.
I've been
So
there.
I'm gonna say you'll be able to repair the gun. You don't really need to repair the gun. You can just get a new one. But Rudy, over the next 2 days,
Polyesterine. There we go.
I'm gonna say you can just make one engineering roll, and based on your margins of success, I'm gonna say every 5 points in general that you get is going to represent another one of these things you can successfully build.
Oh, God.
And you can prioritize them in your mind. So 5, you pick 1, 10, you pick 2, etc., etc. You can have as many people help you as you want, so you can roll with advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably get the whole field team plus Veal plus Callie plus Toofty.
Yeah, I'll definitely help. I'll start by saying, you realize that graphene is a really great conductor, right?
Shut up! I chose the wrong words. Okay, that's not very good. Okay, that's a little bit better. So I got a 16. What was the benchmark I needed to do?
So 3 of the devices you have proposed, you can successfully build and implement.
Oh, then I'll do the foam one, the more lethal spiky one, and the harpoon gun. Then I'll do all
Excellent.
3 of them.
Over the next 2.5 days, as a field team, you don't have any specific responsibility. And as a member of normally not on the field team, Rui, so you just go back to your scientific duties. You probably spend more time with the Tyteans than anyone else does, because you begin exchanging technology. You start to look through their databases, through like how their computers work, which is a little weird and analog and clunky, because again, they keep everything physical. They keep everything on like hard drives so that they can be the thing that powers it and accesses it. So it's very hard for other people to look at their stuff, but they are very transparent with you. They show you, and like you keep, like other alien cultures keep coming up in your discussions that we'll talk about later, but a lot of them are the ones that are in the database you already have. A couple of them are not.
Interesting.
But you see a pretty detailed like historical account. You start to get a sense of how their technology works. Everyone else, there is an air of tension and excitement on the ship, but things run pretty much as expected, pretty normally. And Laddie, the doctor is correct. Even though you are clearly on edge, all of the sort of tension, the muscle spasms, and that sensation of anything in your head, any sort of weird dreams that are not yours, there's no indication of anything else. And you keep going back, I think, for regular sort of scans as well to make sure that your baseline continues. And other than an elevated level of anxiety, which is understandable, it seems like it's passed through your system with that one burst.
I think regardless of the all good from the doctor, he's still, as you're saying, like anxious and stays awake most of the time and takes as many shifts at the helm as he can because he just wants to be flying.
Excellent. And after a period of about 2 days, you're informed that you will be arriving on Pondur. You see it come up on the screen while you are on the bridge, CTA. A place you probably haven't been in a while.
Mm-mm.
A perfect blue marble, not quite as large as Earth, maybe about 3/4 of the size, with a swirling sort of cloudy blue-gray mist visible from above the surface. It's beautiful. And the ship pushes through at the request of the Tyteans, all of which are on the bridge right now watching this. The view screen remains on through the actual landing sequence, and you are actually going to land the ship on Pondur. They actually have a place for you to do that. You don't have to like stay in orbit. You watch as you break through the cloud line and see these misty blue-gray clouds. A gentle, dark blue rain falling down into an endless sea, until in the distance you see a series of metal platforms suspended by repulsors and these long, complicated anchor-like structures that had to be built underwater to connect these artificial continents to the seafloor. But there is no attempt to like terraform or make them look organic. They are just metal platforms jutting up out of the sea that can change their position depending on the level of tide. So if the tide rises, there's like an automatic sensor and the entire continent rises with it so as not to be overtaken by waves. And you see these lots of bubbly architecture, lots of circular sort of domes and a few towers. And the closer you get, you see these 4 different platforms. You see that there are these train-like structures that move under the water and down to travel between the two. There are flying, like, hoverbed sort of transports that have slots for Pondu spheres to, like, sit at the head of them as they fly themselves around from continent to continent. You recognize the 4 continents of your home. And you land in... You land in the easternmost platform, which you know to be the District of Transparent Governance, upon which there is a elevated landing platform large enough for the ship. The captain comes to you, CTA, and says, "I will be escorting our guests to the Senate's chambers to meet with the Prime Minister and begin negotiations. The field team, well, I have a more specific mission for all of you. It's not very complicated. I would like you to have a break. I would like you to be on standby should I need you. But I do not anticipate anything going ill. I will bring Kotira with me, as well as humbly seeking knowledge. Should I need you, I will hail. Otherwise, you have the day free to yourselves. Please inform the field team as such. Consider this shore leave." And if you need anything, I am only a call away, my friend.
Of course. Okida.
He steps out of the office and back onto the bridge. My friends, the leadership of Pondur awaits. If you would be so kind as to accompany me. Yes, of course. Thank you to all of your crew. Please extend our sincerest gratitude for this most unusual situation. We are grateful for your patience and hospitality. We have much enjoyed being aboard your ship. And the three of them sweep out with the captain, leaving you largely to your own devices. A day spent on Pondur.
Does anyone want to go on a joyride?
When was the last time you slept?
Con, shut off.
I will pass. I have sort of a logistical question. So you said that Andalok and their I guess assistants left the main flotilla behind. Has the flotilla been like following us, or has it just been still in the Veil Galaxy? Ah.
Yep.
Okay.
They stayed pretty much exactly where they were.
Okay.
If anything, your longest range before they moved out of your ability to perceive them, they were pushing back deeper back into the Veiled Galaxy, into the Unveiled Galaxy.
Dang. Okay. Unveiled. Yes. All right. Then I'll say I have not yet been to Pondur. I do not know what there is to do here.
Do they have any good food, like soup?
We do not eat. However, I can show you around, at least to what the public would be privy to.
That sounds fun.
I'm all in.
I would also do that.
Perfect. Let me show you my home.
I like how we each have 3 different ways of accessing our communicator.
It's so good.
Personal preference. Listen.
All right. Yeah.
You begin to show the field team around Pondur. You find that as foreigners, really, the Pondu are so interested in you. The main thing that you notice
The
is
squishies.
they primarily inhabit Pondu spheres, not robot bodies. You don't see nearly as many robot bodies. Mostly you just see them on standby in places. Like, it's common practice to go to an establishment that is built for tourism, of which there are so few, by the way. There are 3 restaurants in the entire place that are just for public relations, across 4 continents. And so you have to go to near the embassy to even do that. But you mostly notice that it's common practice for every building to have, kind of like how the Tyteans had alcoves where just bodies on standby. There are headless Pondu robot bodies just waiting to be operated most everywhere you go, of various sizes and compositions. You don't see any sort of patrolling. There's no military, there's no police. They have no need of any of that. There's just spheres hanging out, hovering in circles, talking to each other, communicating via their signals, so you don't even really hear them, until they zoom up to you and ask you questions and want to know. They really want to talk to you and just hear your adventures. We go through... Well, actually, let me... What is your... How does CTA sort of respond to all this attention?
I think their mind is... Their attention is split between what they know is happening with the Senate and what's happening right now in their actual body with their crew. And so I think there's just a lot of It's not that they're keeping a distance on purpose, but they are fulfilling the function of showing the crew around and answering questions in the politest way possible that they can. But there's not a lot of enthusiasm that one might expect going back to their home world because of the situation that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, as all of this is happening, I think you're sort of hovering around the embassy area to see some of the possibilities for like actually getting food here somewhere, so as not to have to go back to the ship to eat. When you get a communication from the captain. First
Over under,
Commander,
good or bad news. Who wants to make a bet?
there is a developing situation that I believe requires your attention. I do not believe it is immediately dire, but it does merit a bit of action.
We're on our way.
Oh no, you do not need to come here. It is a small matter of a particular dignitary, a scientist, the head of the Northern Birthing Platform, named Steadfast Commitment to a Bright Future. She was scheduled to appear to greet the others, to greet the Tyteans. She did not, and we have been unable to reach her. The Pondu do not have infrastructure to investigate as we would, and have requested our assistance in this matter. There is a representative of the Pondu who has been appointed to this matter, who is en route to your position to give you further instruction.
Understood. We will wait here.
Very well. Thank you, Commander.
Why do you think they didn't show up?
I am unsure, but it is very unlike any Pondu to be late. It cannot be good, whatever it is.
Yeah, that sounds pretty bad.
The water is, once again, stock still.
How long does it take us to get to the northern birthing platform?
Not long. I would say if you could either take like a hover sled there,
I thought we
or
were waiting for...
you are waiting for
Oh,
something.
sorry, my
but,
bad.
but when that time comes, it will not take long.
Okay.
But in a few minutes, you see a larger hover sled than you've seen before, one that looks big enough to accommodate you all. You can make out a body seated in the front seat, but it's kind of reflecting off the sun at first. You can't really see, but you do see the Pondu sphere at the head of this vessel. Looks a little different in one very specific way. On the top of this Pondu sphere, seemingly bolted into the mechanism, there is an actual plate of metal on top, which is something yours doesn't have, where what appears to be some kind of fedora made of metal has been bolted into the actual mechanism of the sphere.
No.
Like an old 1920s Earth fedora. And as the sled gets closer and it parks next to you in this outdoor seating area, you see that the head disconnects and attaches itself to a body that, unlike every other Pondu body that you've seen, is wearing clothes. It is of relatively humanoid size. It's not like a particularly big, bulky one. If anything, it's a little bit lanky. But you see a very human-styled, pinstriped, dark gray and black vest with a gray, a long gray, overcoat.
Not the gumshoe Pondu.
That's pulled up. The head with the little fedora clinks into place. This person stands up. begins to approach you, and you see the water inside forms into the image of a human face that is very, like, angular and, like, harsh. You even see, like, kind of the image of a little sort of makeshift cigarette coming out of the mouth.
It's Willem Dafoe.
Who fucking
It's
gave
there is
all
a
the
little
Pulp
Willem
Fiction-
Dafoe-ness to this. As this person comes up to you, he goes, "Are you constant thoughtful actions?"
Oh my god, who let this Pondu watch all the detective movies?
Is this cultural appropriation? Should I be offended?
I'm looking for the field team of the CTF Mariposa.
Yes, I am. First Officer, Constant Thoughtful Actions. And you are.
Pleasure to meet you, Commander. Sort of rubs his hands together and then outstretches a robot hand to shake yours. Goes,
Shake, shake.
I'm notably terse.
It is nice to meet you, notably terse. As by your name, I would imagine you would like to cut to the chase, as it were.
He's so good.
That's
Good
great.
guess.
They're so good.
Scientists didn't show up to the meeting. It's not normal.
No, it is not.
But as you can imagine, our people don't really have the infrastructure to address crimes. Crime doesn't exist here, but I've long theorized that it could, and eventually will. This is why I heavily advocate, much like the missing scientist, for joining the Cosmic Trust. I am well studied in the delicate and necessary art of investigation. So, let's get underway.
I
Is that-
agree.
The Pondu who disappeared was also all about joining the CTF
Yep,
or Cosmic Trust. Yeah. Okay.
sure is.
It's nice to meet you. You seem like a really fun person.
Ensign Liam.
Who is here? Yes.
Oh, sure.
Liam is like trying so hard not to smile, but he can't not.
I think there's something very scary at the thought of the speed in which Constance's body moves to turn to him, but the water does not visibly move at
Mhm.
all.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I am now delegating this as a priority 1 security issue. Please alert the rest of the security team to be on standby.
Noted. Does that.
And then Constant just starts walking.
I've already taken the liberty of, as you get in the hover sled and it begins to come to life and fly over to the northern berthing platform. He goes, I've already taken the liberty of checking her home. She wasn't there, no signs of a struggle. Apparently, she slept overnight in the facility, but nobody's seen her. So, she might be there somewhere, but I'd prefer to have help. In case this gets ugly. I don't know why it would, but I've always believed it might.
I'm so sorry. I do need to ask. Does his visage have like a water cigarette?
Yes.
That's so sick.
So, what does who what's the name again? Fuck.
Notably terse.
Notably terse.
No, the scientist.
Steadfast commitment to a better future.
Steadfast commitment to a bright future.
Bright future.
So, what does steadfast commitment to a brighter future look like? Are there any distinct features that we should be looking out for?
She tends to prefer the standardized body type. She's not one for frill.
All right, needle in a haystack.
Do you think that this is related at all to the events that are occurring as we speak? A new species from a different galaxy coming to exchange information and culture. I know
That's
that
the question,
yes.
isn't it? You see there's like a blob of water that is supposed to look like a puff of smoke, but it's just water, so it just like like spits and splats against the side of the tank, and then like
Damn
melts
it.
back into the face. That's the
Yeah.
question for sure.
We will
Um,
start with the facility. Make sure that she is or is not there.
We've been given full access. We'll be heading straight for her lab.
No foreigners are typically allowed to see inside this facility. Please treat it with respect and the honor that it is.
Of course.
What they said.
There's
Possibly with more of a threat at the end.
there's like movement, right? There's movement with this little hovercraft situation. Water not moving. Still.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
That's
Oh.
horrifying. I'm
Perhaps you can tell us more about how the people of the people at Pondur have been reacting to this news. If the question is whether or not this is motivated by the Tyteans arriving here, perhaps a suspect list can be generated by those who have opposed such an event.
Those who have opposed such an event? Well, there are fewer of them these days. It used to be almost unanimous that we don't join the Cosmic Trust. But that was when we were still developing who we were going to be. It seems pretty clear we have a strong sense of that now. The question isn't, can we still develop on our own while a part of the Trust? The question is, can we still be who we've become? That's what this is. As well as, if you don't mind my saying so, a very good test of the utility of my chosen vocation. Seems very clear that the Pondu are more than likely to join the Trust, pending how this all works out.
Has can I just ask, has anyone ever gone missing before on Ponder?
Nope, not a single time.
That's nuts. Okay.
Before we land, you have a very distinct personality. I have to ask where it comes from.
Well, outside influence is how we came to be in the first place. It seemed unwise to, as we are likely about to join a multicultural organization, to not embrace some of those influences. I myself have found a great deal of purpose in studying old Earth culture. While the history of law enforcement on your planet, looks over at Rudy, is checkered, the noble art of detective work has value, and I have long held that it would someday be necessary, though my colleagues have never quite agreed. I have devoted my life to an eventuality I knew would one day come. Now here we are.
I know he's a detective, but he's giving like Sam Eagle the Muppet vibe.
Yeah.
Wait, if you're the only detective on Pondur, what colleagues are you talking about?
All Pondu are colleagues.
Well, I'll just say then that, as much as we may hope that an event such as this might not happen, it is good that you are here now that it has.
I agree. It's complicated. I am both happy and sad.
I can imagine so.
The hover sled parks itself on the... I've been calling it the wrong thing. It is the Northern Genesis platform. Which sounds, I think, marginally better.
Northern Birthing Platform sounds like some post-apocalyptic breeding grounds.
Anytime we can take the word birth out of a description, I'm happy. So,
Yeah.
Period.
You see this... Again, it is a dome-like structure, but there are these tubes of bridges connecting them to cylindrical towers all around. And you see Pondu in mechanical bodies pulling up water from the sea in large batches, up and out, and then placing them on these hover sleds and moving them into the facility proper. You see Pondu buzzing around. There's a lot more Pondu in bodies here because it's much more necessary. And you see indication of like rank. They have their own ways of displaying on those bodies who is responsible for what. But it looks like some sort of, it almost looks like QR codes. Like they're designed for the signal of other Pondu to immediately scan that and be like, oh, that's who you are. And that's what you're supposed to be doing and where you're supposed to be. So it doesn't mean anything to any of you except for constant thoughtful actions. And you know immediately like, oh, this is somebody who is responsible for carrying, you know, like new water for possible genesis from this particular sector. And this person is kind of a watchful nurse. And this is like a person yeah, so you see all of that.
And I will say, now that we're sort of going to be interacting with more Pondu, out from somewhere in their arm, a little square placard comes out with Constance's own little QR code that they affix to their breast, so that the other Pondu can scan them as well.
Verified.
Mm-hmm.
As you step out, Liam sort of gets a communication and says, right. Just to be clear, the Tyteans were meant to tour this place today, and, well, suffice to say, given the situation, we are trying to assess the security of the situation to make sure everything's okay before visitors are brought here.
Notably, Terrace, do you guys have like video recordings, like security cameras around anywhere at all? Is that something that you guys
course.
are? Oh,
course.
really? Can we review those to see when the last time notably, no, sorry, Steadfast was here?
Of course. You see that he zooms up to an approaching Pondu sphere, and they begin like lighting up as they are talking about something. And you can get involved in that if you want to.
Okay.
You can like get into the circle.
Okay.
So you're like beep, 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 passing information non-verbally as you are able to do. And what you get from this individual, named Journey of Discovery, Journey of Discovery begins to tell you that Steadfast was seen working. There is footage, and then she brings you actually inside to these like open circular hallways to a security chamber and shows you footage of her entering her lab like early in the day yesterday. Like she's been there, and there's no footage winding like all the way forward, no footage of her coming out of the lab all the way up until now. And then she'll say, when everybody else gathers around, she'll start speaking like out again and be like, but we have already searched the lab thoroughly, and or at least as thoroughly as we could, and found no evidence. It's as if she simply disappeared. We are hoping that your eyes will be more attuned to the situation.
Commander, can I ask maybe a impertinent question?
Go ahead.
Has anyone ever like evaporated before?
Long time ago, it's definitely happened.
Yes, when we were first testing the limits of our physiology, some unfortunate occurrences did occur. It is possible. However, to be able to evaporate on Pondur, one would have to be completely without their orb or their body.
Okay, yes, that does make a lot of sense. I just wanted to ask, sorry, that seems like a grief-filled question, but exploring all options.
There wouldn't be any like secret passageways or employee passageways built into this place, would there?
There are not supposed to be.
Well,
But we do not monitor our scientists within their own workspaces.
Hmm.
Can we look at the workspace just really quick?
Of course, you will have full access to her lab. Though I do warn you, we are having some difficulty accessing her computer.
Does anybody know what she was researching recently?
Well, she is the chief of Genesis on this platform. Though,
Huh.
forgive me, it would ordinarily not be my place to say, but in the interest of the investigation, she has expressed interest in the past in trying to expand the boundaries of Pondu consciousness.
What does that mean?
As I understand it, she was interested in knowing if we must necessarily be only 1.26 gallons.
Hmm.
Huh.
I
However,
thought they tested that in the past, though, and it was proven to be only 1.26. Like, I assume that they had tried 1.27, 1.28, you know?
correct. Very good.
But what about 3.32? No, that's not the right math. What about 2.52?
2.5, yeah.
2.54.
2.52.
In any case, and any volume, the idea was shot down before it got much farther. It is simply too dangerous to risk damaging a fully functional Pondu.
Are we at her lab now? Have we been kind of walking
Yeah, so
into-
you make your way through and she opens the door for you, and inside you find a pretty pristine lab. You find that there are Pondu bodies of different sizes. There's like a bigger one that looks like it's here for security or something. You find a lot of lab equipment, a lot of Genesis equipment. So you find a lot of like test tubes and things, but no active Pondu water. You see a terminal, like a podium in the center of the room where a Pondu sphere can sit on top of and like work everything in the lab via signal. You see that is there, but there is no sphere sitting on it. And you do definitely see that there is a computer terminal here that's like idle at the moment. Notably, Terse rubs at the like bottom of the sphere. You just like scratching sound of glass. And he goes, well, let's get to work. Any of you particularly good with computers?
I am.
I dabble.
Right. Maybe the two of you should get to work decrypting her computer. I'll take a look at the terminal here, see if I can see anything they didn't spot.
Can I just do an examination of the room itself, like a very general investigation
Yeah,
check?
absolutely.
If you want me to be more specific, I am looking for signs of her, but I think I'd also more so be looking at evidence of her research, either going awry or being taken.
I see. Evidence of her research and evidence of where she is.
Mhm.
Yeah, so go ahead and make a. This is
Brain?
going to be. I was going to say this is largely going to be resolved because it's perceptive based. It's not really. You're not trying to figure something out, you're trying to look for
Mhm.
something. So I'm going to give you a DC of 7.
Okay, can I'm fully gonna admit that this is not what this is. Can I do tracking?
It is tracking. You're looking for a person
sick.
who was
Okay.
here. Yeah.
I've been mainly tracking ships up until now, so that's
Is
I'm
not what this
going
is exactly
to-
what it is.
All right, let's hit
I'm
it.
gonna lower the DC to 6 because you are being assisted by Notably Terse.
Okay, I accidentally just threw my D4 into my lap. Let's go.
And then
So
the two of you are doing computer checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You can either roll them separately to try it, or one of you can roll with assistance.
Is a 7.
What's your computer skill?
D4.
D4. Oh, same. Okay.
Okay.
So,
I think I'd like to do it because I am Zipandu.
yeah.
So maybe narratively that we could flavor that somehow.
Sure.
Hacha. Okay. Hiya. Okay, way better. Oh no. Oh, my
I would also like to look for any secret passages that may be built into this place, but I can wait to
Yeah.
do my roll.
No, everybody can be rolling at the same time, and as
Okay.
long as you remember, and I'll just go one at a time.
Hey,
Is that
quick
another
question.
resolve?
Where did my D4 go?
Ian, resolve. Resolve
Yeah.
for Ben.
All right, cool.
Unless you can justify to me that you are logicking out things based on stuff that other people found first, then you can use brains. That's the benefit of like waiting to see how everything else shakes out.
Nah, he would be doing this at the same time. All right.
Alright. This
Okay.
is 17 for me.
So Laddie was looking around first. What did you get?
7.
On a DC 6. Okay, so not outstanding, but good. The
Yeah.
two of you together, it's hard to note, like, it's really spotless and clean in here, so there's no, like, footsteps to look for, dust or anything like that. But when you take a closer look at the podium, you look closer and you see the mechanism where the sphere would actually connect. There's something sort of broken off. It would be easy to miss if you were looking at it just like at the podium, but you look in to like where it scoops for the sphere to sit. The almost like USB port like area. It's like bent and broken, like something was wrenched up off of this thing with an amount of force.
So it's like the USB port is like where their seat of their
Yeah.
orb would be, and
It's
like
where she would like park her sphere to then connect to the entire lab.
okay, gotcha.
It looks like something was wrenched out of this. Maybe the
Huh.
sphere itself.
For sure.
You
Okay.
seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, that doesn't look good with my limited knowledge and experience of Pondur so far. That seems damaged.
But if there was a struggle, where'd they go?
Exactly.
Looks
Sorry.
over to the ones working the computer.
17.
17. Okay.
Whoa.
I didn't give you a DC, but 17 is a lot. So, yeah, on a 17, what you find is that she has a complicated encryption program on her computer.
As
But
she
you
should.
start to figure out that it is a series of like visual puzzles. And you start to actually be able to figure it out. And like once you unravel that sequence, it opens up her research and her logs. And you find it still open to the last thing she was working on and looking at. And you see a file labeled Experiment 2.26.
Oh,
2.26.
I download that to myself.
Do you start looking through it?
Yes.
The first thing that you see is the schematics for a robot Pondu body that is completely different than anything you've seen before. It has a filtration system.
Whoa.
It is not designed for just a sphere to sit on top. It is designed for a Pondu of greater volume
To run through.
to run all throughout its systems, which theoretically could work. And the more you get into it, you see she was doing this in secret, and it was working.
And it was working, he says.
You also realize she's making reference to the lab where this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
There's another door to be opened in here somewhere.
Boop boop. Captain, there has been a development.
I'm glad to hear it, because the Tyteans are beginning to take this delay as an insult.
Is it possible for me to send off specifically this file to like someone else's comms?
Not to somebody's comms.
Mhm.
You would have to send it to, like, via the computer. You could
Yeah.
send it to the ship.
I'll do that. So I'll send off specifically that file to the ship to Toofty. And Dr. Fang.
Okay.
And then into the comms, I will say, I do believe that, well, I don't have to do this because my comms are my body. I do believe that it would be best to completely cancel the tour of the Genesis program. For today, at least.
Hmm.
This will not be resolved as quickly as the Tyteans may desire.
As you're looking through, you continue to pour through the logs. Meanwhile, what is Rudy doing now that you have like a little more information?
I was looking for any like secret doors or passageways while
Okay.
all that was going on concurrently, and I
Did
got
you
an
share
11.
this information with the rest of the team?
Yeah.
So now that you know that there is something like that, you can make a brains roll to try and find it instead of something else if you want to.
I also note that the USB port has been broken to everyone.
All right. Is it possible for me to help Rudy as a scientist? I'm thinking that like
Yeah.
a lab is kind of like a place that I'm pretty familiar with, and so I would be able to identify like, hey, that desk doesn't have a fume hood or something like that. That's not regulation.
Ah, that's a
but
good point.
But that's suspicious in of itself.
Yeah, so you can lower the DC from, I'm going to say it was going to be like a 15 to find a hidden door. Now it's going to be a 12.
Awesome. 18.
Hell
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Didn't
On
need
an
it.
18, knowing that there's some hidden door somewhere, you start to reach around, you feel like a draft somewhere. Honestly, weirdly coming from kind of up, or like coming from below. And you find a place that feels like you knock on it, it feels kind of hollow. And it's on the ground. It's like a trap door down into the ground. And as you're feeling for it, you find the code in the files. You punch in the code and open up this hatch. It's a blast of sort of cool air from down below.
Whew.
You see that down below the lights are off. You just see darkness underneath.
He'll take like a glow stick and crack it and wave it around and drop it down.
You drop it down, and as the glow stick moves down to the platform, you see a shadow of a large figure just cast in the room. The figure looks seated and bulky, like sitting cross-legged is as much as you can see, and holding something in their lap. But they're seated deeper into the room, so all you can see with the glow stick is just a momentary shadow.
Hey, guys, there's someone in there. Hey, you doing okay there? No response? Not feeling friendly? Ooh, it's a ceiling, it's a ceiling, it's a ceiling.
I start pushing my way in front of all the squishies.
It's like a strange hiss of a mechanism moving, decompressing. You see the shadow shifts slightly, but doesn't stand up.
Dr. Steadfast.
You're here for her. You are earlier than I anticipated. Good. Cosmic Trust? Is that you?
There is a shift in CTA's body posture where they stand up straighter and pretend to adjust the shirt of their uniform. First Officer, Constant Thoughtful Actions of the CTF Mariposa. Identify yourself.
Oh, good. I had hoped it would be you. Unfortunately, I have no designation. Respectfully, I have declined to choose a name. It does not suit me. If you have opened this door, then you know of my creation. Will you not come speak to me face to face? You have deigned to have a face. It seems logical to use it.
Very, very surreptitiously sliding a gun into Rizzo's hand.
Yeah,
Very,
Liam's
very
coat is
surreptitiously.
swept back. Yeah, sorry.
Dialing it back to the lowest setting.
Liam has swept his coat back and is now gripping his retractable staff.
Rudy has his hand on one of his many explosives.
Whoop whoop. Captain. Commander Koti Ra. There is an unidentified individual. They are asking to speak with us. By your leave, we will oblige.
I am on my way, though it will take some time to arrive. Try to stall if you can, find out what you can. But no unnecessary risks.
Understood.
Hey, do you know where steadfast commitment to a bright future has gone?
Yes.
Is
Would-
she you?
What an interesting question. By my logic, yes. We are all each other. Before we were changed. She has returned to being who she was meant to be. No one, in particular.
Was this a choice that she made by her own hand or someone else's?
Long silence.
Answer me.
Choice is an odd turn of phrase for us. We do not choose to be transformed from our natural state. I certainly didn't. But while I'm here, I may as well use it. Cosmic trust.
I'm kind of pushing the detective behind me.
I think the detective has also like reached, and there is fully a holster for a. It's of a little different make, but it is also like a blasting pistol of some kind.
It's a
It's
water
just
gun.
fully like an old Earth style revolver.
I start clacking my own fingers together in CTF Morse code to tell Liam to seal us in to this room.
He goes and does so.
I don't know if we want to do this.
Oh, uh-oh.
I don't know if we want to do this, Chief.
I'm not in here with you. You're in here with me.
You will no doubt call the others. It is of no matter. I've waited here for you.
And what makes us so special?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Commander. You see the shadow rise. Heavy footsteps. Absolutely nothing. You hear this like a buildup of repulsors, and then a burst of motion as this massive figure jumps up through the hatch and lands in front of you. Constant Thoughtful Actions, I need you to make a flight roll to dodge out of the way
Yo!
as Experiment 2.26 attempts to grab you.
Okie dokie.
Hey, what did we figure out that the Z function on the gun does?
It's time to find out, I guess.
Is this just the highest setting? The kill setting?
No, it's the
Yeah.
lowest setting,
It's the
I thought.
lowest.
No, it was the highest. It was the highest.
It was the highest? Damn.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to hit the Z.
Do I use armor body on this?
Yeah, it helps you for
Work.
avoiding taking damage, yeah.
Work. Hata. So I would like everyone to know that my flight is a D4. So I rolled a 7.
No.
That's still pretty impressive for rolling a
Can you
D4.
adversity make it explode?
Oh, I can. Oh my god, thank you so much. I forgot I had
I know
one.
the system. I know how to play this game.
Yeah.
Massive gamer brain.
I've played these games
Okay.
before.
So that's 7 plus only a 1 for 8.
See if you're a human.
It's this shape of D4. It's like a teardrop diamond shape. It's I don't like it.
So you went from a 7 to an 8,
Yes.
which means you have gone from failing by a margin of 10 to by a margin of within the
Not
5 and 10 window.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
it's not quite as catastrophic as it would have been.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Y'all, we're cooked.
But
Awesome.
you all
Dude.
watch with blinding speed this nearly 7-foot tall mech suit of a thing with a squared off, screenless, glassless head. You just see little bits of visibility. There's like a circular central transparent chamber and tubes moving all across the body at multiple points, where you can see a larger quantity of water is filtering all around this body constantly, in constant motion. And this figure leaps up, grabs Constant Thoughtful Actions, and tackles them into the ground and just punches into your sphere and cracks into it a little bit.
Nope.
Not enough to expose you, but enough to put you in danger and hurt you and let in a little bit of atmosphere. Luckily, you're on Pondur, so this isn't as horrible as it could be, but you are still going to take a major wound.
Yep.
One of
Can
your
I
major
take a
wound slots.
shot?
Yes. So, now that the experiment has taken their turn, there's no like turn order or initiative. You guys just act in the order that you see fit, and anytime someone fails, I will take the opportunity to take another turn.
Okay, cool.
Oh.
Yeah, gun out. Set to Z.
How many major slots do we have?
And ready to do damage.
Yeah, so this is, if anybody watched the original 3 episodes that we did, this is an update to the system that we've done. So there are no hit points in this game, we have wound slots. So everyone has 3 minor wound slots, 2 major wound slots, and 1 mortal slot. If all of your slots are filled, that is what kills you or knocks you out, depending on what happens.
My fight is only a D8, so we're gonna pray to the heavens above that this goes okay.
I believe in you. I believe.
Thank you. I believe in a thing called love. What am I gonna roll?
Is there initiative?
No. You guys go however you want, and anytime someone fails, I take another turn.
So can I assist Laddie in this moment?
Yeah, you can give advantage.
Yes, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to try to fucking incapacitate this bitch back. I'm going to try to grab their arms, their wrists, and if they try to move away from me, I'm going to be like, stay, to give him a chance to hit a better shot.
Excellent. So go ahead
Okay.
and roll with advantage.
Oh, right, okay, advantage. Oh yeah, that advantage helped a lot. That's gonna be a 10 overall. I am gonna burn my star point to make that an 11.
That is what you needed to do, because I also rolled an 11.
Oh my god.
So making it into an 11 did save you. So Constant, as you hold this creature in place,
Grituro.
Laddie, are you firing with your pistol, right?
Yeah, it's immediately like halt, and then a second of non-compliance, and the shot goes out.
The shot goes out, cracking through a bit of that armor plating. It is going to take a minor wound.
Do I feel pain from that impact?
So I would say that it's not pain necessarily when your robot body is hurt, because why would it be? It's more you can program sensation, like haptic feedback, to alert you to damage that you take. So it's like deliberately uncomfortable to serve an evolutionary function. It just depends on how unpleasant you want to make that be. But because it this is a thing that uses it pronouns. This is a thing that doesn't believe it should have pronouns. So this experiment cracked your sphere.
My head.
And it rocked your head a little bit. That's what hurt. That's why you took damage.
Yes. I mean, you guys hear a sound that you've never heard Constant make, which is like an ah of pain.
Yike.
Oh god, do I want to do this? It's stupid, but it's funny. I think Rudy will take out one of his little explosive devices and he'll yell out, Constant, roll him to the left! And then he'll chuck the thingamajig. Do I also get advantage on this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You can give advantage to as many people as take turns.
I try to do exactly what he says to help him.
Two and
Roll him off of me.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm going to spend a star point to explode on a D4.
Let's go.
So 4 and 4 is 8. Explode again, 12.
Yo.
Spend another star point to explode again, 16.
Okay.
Okay.
Explode again, 20.
That's what's up.
Explode again, 24.
What?
You're
Explode
shitting me.
again, 28.
No.
Man!
This cannot be true.
All right, 31.
Actually,
Oh my-
though, that's
Oh my
insane.
Christ.
You read
31.
D4, it's a 50-50. Just win the 50-50. I'm a gambler, motherfucker. I gamble.
I was really scared initially. Now I'm not scared anymore. Now we're
Holy
good.
shit. Ugh.
Whoa.
Okay, wait. So I rolled a 9.
Right. Excellent.
That's 4 levels of disadvantage for them.
That's
4 levels
right?
over.
Yeah, 4. That's 20.
And they would all be major wound slots. One, two.
Oh my goodness.
See, Rorizo, we kind of bang out here. We kind of.
This is why we're on the away team. We make problems go away.
So there are a couple of ways I can play this, right? Because every 5 levels above eats up a major wound slot, right? And it has 2 major wound slots, and then it would take the mortal slot, and then with no other slots. Theoretically, this should be an encounter ender.
Can I say what happens to this thing exactly?
Yeah, if everyone's comfortable with this being its end, then take it away, Ben.
All right, so after he yells out to Constant thoughtful actions, he presses a red button, and you realize that it's one of his prototype grenades meant for the Tyteans. That's what they're called. And he throws it, and as it explodes, all of these little pointed drill bits shoot everywhere, and then they collapse back in on itself, and you see all of the electricity in its suit get sucked into the core, and then everything about him just goes limp.
Excellent.
What the fuck? What?
Ooh, you good, Commander?
What?
I got the gun. I got it. Okay.
So
You see Liam is the staff is fully out, and you see sparks of blue electricity over it. He is standing in front of Ruiso. The one person he
Oh.
knows probably doesn't have a lot of fight capability and is standing there like trying to protect you, and then the explosion goes off and he like turns and like Mr. President gets down at you. Um and you look and you see this thing just in pieces on the ground.
Well, it's not in pieces
In
even. It's just
not in yeah.
wires just extending from it that just absorbed all of its electricity instantly.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. And this is the scene that you find.
Okay, so is there's no electrical impulse left. You've essentially killed this Pondu.
At least in the suit. Maybe in the fishbowl there's still some, but anything
There is no
that's
fishbowl.
going
There is no fishbowl.
Its
There is-
entire body was in a filter. That's the whole thing with like it's 2.26 gallons, but it is constantly filtering through the entire body instead of contained to a sphere. So theoretically, this would kill it unless you're. I mean, you have full narrative agency. If you want it to not be dead, it's not dead.
I think because I rolled a 31 off of a D4 and a D6,
Mhm.
I think you still see movement through the water, but anything that tries to interact, like if it tries to send any sort of communication with the suit, that instantly gets sucked up and away. So while it's still alive, it's immobilized completely, and until this thing is removed, it can't do anything with its suit.
What did you do?
Uh, I tink tink tink. I took away its ability to power its suit. Pretty sure.
But where is where is it?
I think it's just still in the pipes, maybe.
Does it look like there have been any ruptures or anything like that in the pipery?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, with that, it has to be like very heavily damaged. If you want it to be alive, like you said, but unable to function or even make the suit speak, it's like exposed to open air. It can survive in here, but if the electricity has been sucked away, it's like dying. You would have to get it into a Pondu sphere if you want it to live. And you're not even sure if that would work because it only lived because of this specific suit that allowed the larger volume. It's going to die. I don't know if there's any way you can prevent it unless you figure something out, but yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what this means as far as Pondo identity goes. But what if we only saved 1.26 gallons of it?
Constant thoughtful actions scrambles up looking for a sphere in the room.
Not up here, but down in the platform that it came from, like down in the under part. You can find a spare.
Just go-goom
Okay.
as Constant drops down and grabs that extra spear that maybe was steadfast. I don't know.
No. When you go down there, you clearly see a shattered Pondu sphere. You also see that this secondary lab is underwater, and there is an emergency flush chamber adjacent to it that a quick look at the logs will indicate that it was recently used, like last night.
Oh.
As the detective is also going through this, starts to point out to you, like through the logs, a full picture of what happened. And you see a series of sort of communications with, like, telling the experiment, like, oh, people are coming here. We're probably going to join the Cosmic Trust. There's other electromagnetic beings, and a growing, like, dissatisfaction and, like, a radical, like, perspective against that, until finally, when the final log ends with, like, I wish I could change its mind. I would really like to introduce the experiment to these people and like make this work public. It fully killed her. It got in its body, ripped her Pondu sphere off of its thing, cracked it open, and threw her in the emergency flush. She is now part of the ocean again. Which seems to be what it believed is the right thing for all Pondu.
Can I, maybe recklessly, maybe against all better intuition, can I try to supercharge its body to keep it alive?
You can try.
Okay.
I'm gonna
What's my
say
rolling?
Would I have to roll against that?
No, the thing you did is already done.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to make this except I guess a brains roll with your supercharge.
Okay.
Um, this is gonna be a DC of this shouldn't work. This is a DC of 8.
Okay. That's fine with me.
And to your knowledge, constant thoughtful actions. In fact, you know it to be true. This is the first time a Pondu has ever been murdered.
12.
Can you star point that?
12.
12. No, I don't have any more star points.
You
Actually, I
take
might.
what you have learned about your own physiology. You've come out of this realizing in this moment there's a level of control that you didn't have before. And you think about that image of yourself, that memory that you know isn't yours, that piece of Andalok that you absorbed floating through space and accumulating. And you hold on to that image and you supercharge in a way you've never done before. And you animate this being. And the Pondu sphere kind of crackles to life.
Yeah, I place it, up on the shelf before I try to climb out myself, and I go, help me!
Rudy will run over.
Yeah, same.
Because I don't know that he's just done this.
Together you put it in the sphere, and it looks weird because it's too much water. It like fills up the tank more than it should. There's room for it, but it's snug. And the speaker crackles to life and you hear, "Why? Put me in the emergency flush. Return me to my natural state if you will not let me do my work."
No.
You betray our nature. Put me back.
You. And there's something uncanny about something that doesn't have lungs, but is acting like they're heaving with breath and are breathing heavily through a modulator. You did not ask to be created, but your actions betray us, and you will have to answer for them.
To who? Your trust?
No, to the Senate.
They have no infrastructure.
Perhaps that is about to change.
If I have anything to say about it, says notably terse. He steps up to you and holds the hat like up to his chest, and he looks like he's not really sure what to do with this part of the situation.
Holding the sphere in my arms.
But he puts his hand on your shoulder and goes, "I'm sorry that you hurt."
It is all right. I can be repaired or get a new sphere.
If you do not allow me to die when it is my wish, I am going to die anyway. You will have to construct another. If you do this and operate on these foreign laws, you will only prove me right. You will only prove me right. And notably terse detective clicks off the speaker.
Not a Pondu nationalist.
Yeah, yikes.
We should go.
We should bring the body, see if it can be repaired.
Hey, Captain. Things got really hot and weird here. Hot in a bad way, as in shots fired. Um, I think we're gonna have to concur with Commander CTA's assessment that our guests may just have to wait a while.
We pull out from this moment in a montage of blurred action as the captain arrives and consoles you. A crew arrives to move the body as well as go through this research.
May I sort of add that I lean my head so most of my water is on my non-cracked side, as someone, maybe Callie or someone, like spot heals the crack before I can get a new one.
If you allow it, Rudy will like put like a flex tape plastic over it.
Hours pass in a blur as you return to the ship. No longer certain what is happening with Andalok and the others, the Tyteans, until finally a meeting is called. With the field team and Andalok themselves, but only them. No other commanders, just you. The captain leans back in his chair and says, "This day has bred both tragedy and opportunity. Our preliminary findings seem to indicate that, well, perhaps it is not for me to say. Prime Andalok bows deeply to you, Constant Thoughtful Actions. Says, while we are very similar, it does not appear that our people are as one. No memory of ever being here has ignited within me. Our molecular composition is not the same. But it is still my honor to get to know you. We would have leave to explore when you see fit. I will take this knowledge back to my people. It will enrich us as we move to the next cycle. Perhaps the day will come when we may join your trust after all. But for today, I grieve for those like us who have been lost."
Just because we do not share an origin does not mean we do not have much that we can learn from each other.
I could not agree more. I hope all of you find success as you explore my home, the galaxy that the Tyteans have called home. I hope that you foster the same friendship with others, and if we can be of any assistance in the future, you will be considered friends. I will take my leave now. Retire to my quarters. I imagine you have much to discuss. But thank you, Captain. They bow and leave the room. And the captain sighs deeply. Well, there is one other matter that I should point out. The Pondu have agreed. They will join the Cosmic Trust.
That's incredible news.
thank you all. This has been, well, enlightening. We will convene for our next briefing tomorrow morning. We will resume our previous course. In the meantime, get some rest. Spend some time on the surface. If that is what you need. Dismissed.
Rudy, as he's exiting the room, will look back at Constant and then kind of make a stutter step like he wants to say something, but then he'll continue out.
I think Laddie will just go, Commander, I'm at your service if you need anything. But
Thank you.
I'll retire to my quarters now.
I think Urusa makes like a similar comment, like, I'm here if you need anything. And then just kind of leaves to go back to his station at the Arboretum.
Constant thoughtful actions as you return to your quarters. You find a young ensign standing outside the door, sort of holding something in one hand. Commander, I was given something left by one of the Pondu who said they wanted to leave something with you. A notably terse detective. They asked me to leave this for you.
Thank you, Ensign.
Johnson, sir.
Thank you, Ensign Johnson.
And he puts in your hand what appears to be some kind of flash drive, but cooler and more futuristic. You're not sure what it is or what's on it, but it seems like it should fit in any standard computer terminal you have access to in your quarters.
I plug it in.
You plug it in, and on your computer, you find the entire history, the entire film and televisionography of detective fiction.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
With a note that says, "Great minds think alike. Study up, Commander, and I'll see you again."
Whoop whoop. Field team and Lieutenant Ruiso. Please come to my quarters. I believe I have an activity for us tonight after all.
And on that, we fade off. Not as the Mariposa flies away, but as it remains docked for a period of rest and recuperation until the next adventure. Keep it cosmic.
Woo! That got dark at the end.
It did.
Yeah,
What
that
the
got
fuck?
super
Oh my
scary at
goodness.
the end.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You see why I was so excited? Yeah.
I blew up 4 times in a row. I'm happy. I
That
don't
was
regret
I
anything.
I could not believe that.
God.
That
Could
was
not believe
nuts.
that. It's always you though.
Yeah.
That always happens to you. It's awesome.
Humans, baby.
It's payback for the internet not letting you have your pencil moment.
Oh yeah, so real.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Devastating.
thank you everybody for joining us for this 2-part adventure. This part was a little long. I don't care. So
Thank you again to Noir for joining us.
yes,
Yeah.
Goat.
The
Happy
goat.
to be here. This was awesome.
yeah, yeah. So awesome having Ruiso aboard. Hopefully we will get to do so again very very soon.
Mhm.
In the meantime, we have many more adventures with the CTF Mariposa planned very soon. So keep an eye out for the next adventure, the next alien culture to meet. So until then, I say once again, keep it cosmic. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Mwah, 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 mwah.